That's a man.
Peyton Manning stepping out.
It's the Zion Show.
Pass is caught by Jones. We can only hope we'll have another game like we did in '99. Ole Miss and Vanderbilt are getting set to do it again on our Jefferson Pilot SEC Game of the Week, and welcome to beautiful Nashville on a glorious day. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dave Neal, along with my partner, Dave Rowe. Vanderbilt won the toss, deferred. Ole Miss will receive, and there's David Cutcliffe, the 46-year-old head coach, and his counterpart on the other side, 57-year-old Woody Woodenhofer, in his fourth year as the head coach of the Commodores. Temperatures today right around 70 degrees. The wind is blowing somewhat, but it is a perfect day. A guy like you, Dave Rowe, loves this, huh?
Look at this short sleeve shirt. Roll them up. This is my kind of weather. That 2 weeks ago, I don't even think about that.
John Markham, the 210-pound senior from Brentwood, Tennessee, to kick off. To that man, Deuce McAllister, who's back with Robert Williams, number 35. And here is the kick. McAllister bobbles it, bounces out of the end zone, and now Williams recovers it at the 2-yard line.
You know what it did? It hit his face mask when he was looking, and that's just like a return. That ball has come out of the end zone. Again, watch this here. You just want to let it go. Just let it bounce off. But see, it bounces off his face mask. Now it's in the field of play.
I think, Dave, that he just got casual because he wasn't going to run it out of the end zone.
Exactly right.
And boy, Ole Miss in a world of hurt to start the game.
But heads-up play there to cover that football. That could have been a huge disaster for David Cutcliffe.
Vanderbilt crowd sensing an early quick start for the Doors. Two tight ends. A handoff. Gain of one, maybe two to McAllister. Antoine Bradford on the stop.
Boy, and Jamie Winborn, what a presence in there. We've talked a lot about him. 42, watch him come right in there. Play across the block. You see 41 coming in also, that's Bradford, as you said. That will make a huge difference in the middle. They will run in the middle.
Jamie has put a few hits on some folks in the league. 272 total tackles. But I think 38 tackles for loss is an even more impressive number.
Well, he just reads it so well.
Second down and 8, I formation. Across the 5 to about the 7, it's McAllister. Here's how Ole Miss will line up today. McAllister, of course, in the backfield. His fullback will be Charles Stackhouse, who's playing exceptionally well, getting back to the form he was a year ago before he got hurt. Up front, Terrence Metcalf. This guy has been everything they have talked about in the preseason. He's been awesome. Basically, Charlie Perkins in the middle, your backup center, replacing Ben Claxton, who is out for perhaps the rest of the year. Romaro Miller is your quarterback. Here's a guy that certainly has had his moments to shine. The fourth quarter, one he'd rather forget last week. Double tight ends on a big third down. Little play action to the tight end. That's a first down for the Rebels. It goes to Ziegler, who's been a little banged up. So he comes in and gets a catch in a two tight end set. Lucius brings him down.
I was just going to say, you've got to be careful of Romaro Miller on the rolls, because as you see right here, play fake action, everybody draws to the left. Now he comes back out, just reads his tight end drag off the line. If he doesn't have that backer come up on him, he can run for the first down, finds the big tight end.
Big, big first down after the gain of 10. They were pinned back inside the 5. McAllister, your tailback. Straight drop, swing it out to Deuce. Deuce across the 20. Deuce to the 30, run out of bounds.
So many things that McAllister can do for you. Jamie Armstrong with a good block that time on the safety. See, perhaps we can see that block. But again, on the outside right here, Deuce swings out. Now, watch right here. You got to get a block right there. That's the block. Armstrong, good block, shield block. And downfield, another block. That's what you want to do on your wide receivers.
Gain of 13 for McAllister. Another first down for the Rebels. There's Winborn. Handoff up the middle. It's the big fullback Stackhouse. He's to the 40. Here's the Commodore defense today. The front three pretty much the same. Russ Nicole, Ryan Alds, and Doyle Crosby up front. Your linebacker core all going to gain some confidence because of the addition of Jamie Winborn. It's Matt Stewart on the outside. Nate Morrow also having a solid year. Your secondary led by Rushing Jones and Jimmy Williams, two of the best cover guys in the league. Safety spot, both of them free and strong. Been a little question mark the first 2 weeks.
There's a pass.
Miller all day, goes up top, lofts it up. Jimmy Williams is there. It was intended for Chris Collins on Jimmy Williams, but Jimmy Williams was right there with him the whole way, and I think Romero just too much air.
Yeah, he did. He threw it way up in the air, hoping his wide receiver can get it, but Jimmy Williams, number 9, is a great one-on-one cover guy. Uses that speed. You're not going to fake him out. Now, look, he just keeps great position inside right there. He's going up there just fighting. That's just back and forth fight. Super play right there. Just a dog fight, and we'll watch a lot of that young man all day.
Both those guys with tremendous speed. Across the 40 to about the 42. That'll be good enough for a first down. And Ole Miss will move the sticks again. This drive started back on their own 3-yard line.
Boy, that time I watched Winborn. He guessed on the play. He guessed wrong. But it's going to be fun to watch him today. It's really exciting for him to get back in this football game. Ole Miss doing exactly what they needed to do. Come out and take a lot of this emotion away. Try to nullify that emotion of Winborn and Williams' return.
Just power football for Ole Miss. It's the 8th play of this drive. They line up in the I formation, couple of tight ends. There's McAllister near midfield to about the 48. He's going to be 4 yards shy of the first down. Bradford with another stop.
And one thing I noticed, again, I know I'm concentrating a lot on Winborn, but one thing he's doing is there's a lot of difference between game speed and practice speed. Winborn has not had practice. He's had practice speed, but has not had game speed. A lot more. He needs to dart up through there, get inside that little gap, make that lead in there, get in the backfield.
Two-time defending SEC tackle leader is Jamie Winborn. McAllister, he finally gets across midfield, going to be shy of the first down.
Well, there was Winborn again. You see the difference that time, penetrating a little bit more, is getting up the speed. This time he's going to come, he's going to penetrate through the hole. Right to the left of your screen, you're going to see it. That's where the play is designed to go. Watch Winborn come flashing through there. 42, right there. And again, get to the hole. See how he reads the blocks? Bang, he's right there. That's exactly what he does so well.
Deuce McAllister, however, has touched the ball 7 of 9 plays so far on this drive. There's a look at the play selection. 6 rushes, nearly bobbled in the backfield, and uses his speed to get outside. Inside the 40. Deuce McAllister will run into the end zone. How do you do? 50-yard touchdown run, and Ole Miss covers 97 yards.
Incredible. I want to tell you something. He almost sat down. He had to stop. Then he breaks 2 tackles. Lercius, number 23, has him, and Bradford has him. Watch this. Left of your screen. It's going to go right there. Now look at this. He almost falls back down again. Get outside, and you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. Right there, a little stiff arm. Everybody misses him. That was Bradford, 41. And look, he just jogs into the end zone. Wow, you talk about impact. He is an impact player.
5th rushing touchdown of the season for Deuce McAllister. That's touchdown number 7 for the season overall. And man, oh man, this guy is special.
Well, those special players come along, Dave, once in a long while, and that's the kind of player that Deuce McAllister is. He's so special. And you know what? He's just as great a kid as he is football player. Off the field, he's just a marvelous person.
Timeout taken on the field, but Deuce McAllister certainly showing his worth. 6 rushes for 67 yards on that drive. He had 1 reception for 13 yards. So he amassed 80 of the 93 yards. Or excuse me, are we going to give him a 98-yard drive? 98-yard drive. Deuce had 80 of it.
Unbelievable. Well, and you know, we talked about him touching the football last week in the Auburn game. He only had 19 rushes, 1 in the 4th quarter. And we talked about that, and I said to David Cutcliffe, don't you think he's maybe like a 23, 24, 25 touches? And he said, well, we may try to give a little bit more to him. Hey, there's a big factor.
That could be big. Nonetheless, Ole Miss showing a balanced attack behind the play of their Heisman Trophy candidate, Deuce McAllister. Man, oh man, is he good. The 98-yard drive by Ole Miss, their longest since 1989 when they went 99 yards against Memphis. They got put behind the 8 ball early on, but showed a very balanced, versatile attack, and they highlighted Deuce. I mean, there's...
Yeah, 7 carries and 7 touches, I think we said in that first drive. You think they're not going to give it to him a bunch?
Lee Rogers to kick off for the Rebels, back to return. Jimmy Williams and Ray Perkins, 2 guys with dynamite speed. It goes to Perkins. He's got some room. Out to the 35-yard line. A return of 30, and Vanderbilt pretty good field position. Deuce McAllister has been Mr. Touchdown with 6 in the first 2 games. In the opener against Tulane, he had 2 rushing touchdowns and caught a 47-yard pass for a score. Last Saturday now against Auburn, well, Deuce scored 3 more touchdowns. He had 2 rushing scores, including a 26-yarder. Then late in the third quarter, he took a punt on his own 13-yard line and promptly ran 87 yards for a score that gave the Rebs the lead. Deuce finished tonight with 257 all-purpose yards. Coming into the game, he's averaging a touchdown for every 6.5 touches. Not a bad ratio, and that will continue. After that last drive, they will swing it out. Goes Vanderbilt to McGrath. Gain of 3. And let's take a look at the Vanderbilt offense. And they're back to receivers. Elliott Carson, big week 1, shut down last week by Alabama, but Vanderbilt felt that would happen. Of course, Chris Young, a youngster, at wide receiver today. Up front, Ryan Gruber has played very consistently for this Vanderbilt offensive line. He and Michael Saltzman probably perhaps their 2 best offensive linemen. Quarterback Greg Zollman, the guy continues to make stride after stride, and he is turning into a very special quarterback.
Oh, I like him. I like his decision making. I like when he's big in the pocket. He's a nice, just a wonderful, smooth passer.
McGrath picks up a couple. Zollman last year against Ole Miss threw 344 yards. So we know something about this D, and there's the defensive line that he will face today. Derek Burgess continues to have a tremendous season. Little change in the linebacking spot because Eddie Strong, their all-SEC candidate, had surgery. Lanier Doker gets the start in the middle today. The secondary, if you follow SEC football, these guys have become pretty familiar to you. They've played a lot of games.
Absolutely. They're good. They're solid back there. You can't find any weaknesses. Zollman needs to find a weakness. He needs to find Carson a lot more today than what he did last week. He's open.
Zollman overthrew his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 4th down. Lou Thomas back on the field. Lou's been banged up a little bit. Good to have him back. Zollman just missed.
Yeah, Zollman really wanted to go to Carson that time. He had him a little drag out, but he didn't wait long enough for the play to develop. And you'll see Woody Woodenhofer and his staff, of course Steve Crosby, going over there saying, hey, you got to hold on. You got to wait for the play to develop a little bit.
Joe Webb, 13 punts on the season, averaging just under 40 yards. And Deuce McAllister back to return. Of course, we just documented what he did last week on a punt return. And he stands inside his 20. Low snap. McAllister with a chance to return it. He takes it at the 21. Across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And Ole Miss now much better field position than the first time around. Hold on to this return. Ole Miss off to a good start. They lead the Commodores on the road. 6-0 is our score. We'll be back after a word from your local stations. You see in the left part of your screen the Manning clan.
There's Peyton right there. Let's see, that's Archie. Oh, there's Olivia over there on the right. Mom, dad, son.
And of course they're here because Eli standing there without his helmet on. Watching the Ole Miss Rebels. Joe Gunn in at tailback to start the second drive for the Rebels. Joe breaks a couple of tackles. Joe has been a little bit slow to get off the get off to a good start here in 2000. The leading returning rusher in the Southeastern Conference, number 2 overall in 1999. And, well, all the hype was on Deuce McAllister, but Joe just hasn't been able to produce many, I guess, breakthrough runs so far.
Well, it's like a basketball player who misses his first 5 or 6 shots. You just keep on shooting. Look at that average, 5.2 yards per carry. He needs those same 18 to 20 carries that Deuce McAllister needs. And that's a hard task this year.
He had 99 yards last year against this Vanderbilt defense. And close to the first down is Joe Gunn. Ald's on the stop. Bradford also in on the tackle.
And Dave, one of the things that Coach Cutcliffe will tell you is first down is so important. If you can get more than 4 yards on first down and bring up that second down from 6 or less, you've got a huge advantage. You saw what they made on that first down. They made like 6 yards. They picked up a few more now. Now you're in that 3rd and 1 situation. That's hard for a defense to stop. You have to guess in this situation.
2 tight ends on a 3rd and short. Ole Miss 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions already today. And that'll be Joe Gunn sneaking outside. He actually got hit at the line of scrimmage, but it bounced his way down to close to midfield.
And he picked up a couple really good plays. This is right down Strupp. Now again, come up in there and you see him just kind of dart out there. Good up block there. Number 79, Metcalf, got a good face-up block. And you saw where he just kind of read the block and just slid it off to the outside, picked up that first down. Well, Metcalf has been a real surprise for them. He has really come and played well.
A little end-around reverse to Omar Rayford. Excuse me, Chris Collins, number 8. Tackled by Nate Morrow, gain of 7.
Boy, Morrow made a good play on it because the minute he saw reverse, and what you do is you yell reverse down on the field, Morrow just put his head down and tried to get back to where he was supposed to be. He just buried his head. He's on the left of your screen. Now watch when they read it. Now, reverse. Now look at him. He just put his head down and get all the way out. You see him running out there? Try to turn it back in where he had to help. Heads up play.
Forward Sanford in at fullback. He gets the carry. Flag goes down to 45. We got close to the first down marker. Doyle Crosby on the stop. There's our referee today, Steve Shaw.
Boy, Bradford there, 41. He got up slow. He was in there. He was in the backfield.
On the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. We repeat second down.
Here's a look at our officials today. Larry Leatherwood, Philip McKinney, Jim Jumper, Mike Taylor, Bobby Moreau, and Prince Pollard, all working under the referee of Steve Shaw.
When you see 41, I said he might have gotten hurt. He might have gotten stung in there. He was in the backfield. A lot of times you'll pick up that inadvertent little shot, and he just stayed down. He didn't pop up like he normally does.
So now it brings up 2nd down and 13. Romero steps up, has some room, across midfield, down to about the 46, 47-yard line. Winborn brings him down, trips him up, and after watching Romero Miller run that, it reminded me a lot of Wayne Matkin of Mississippi State Thursday night.
Absolutely. Look downfield. You've got certain time. Now look at the wide hole right there. You see him react, and you'll see Winborn come in there and slice on him. That's what got him down. But again, they're just a little bit off. And Romero Miller can take advantage of that because he scrambles so well.
McAllister and Stackhouse back into the backfield for the Rebels on 3rd down and 5. Spread formation. Here comes some pressure up the middle. Miller gets his pass out through the hands of his intended receiver, Grant Hurd, and a stop for the the Commodores. Now to bring up a 4th down situation around midfield.
Boy, and that's one that Romero Miller would like to have back. It's a little crossing pattern left to right. Look at this, right off the fingertips. That's one you got to make. And Grant Hurd usually makes those, number 88.
Grant over 100 catches in his career. Should have had that one. Pretty good throw by Romero. Reagan King to punt. Reagan father was a place kicker for Mississippi back in 68, 69. Drops this one down to 5 and trickles into the end zone. Touchback and a flag down at the 35-yard line. Let's see what this is all about.
Now, I looked and Vanderbilt was just kind of like disgusted over the call when they walked by the official. If this is against Vanderbilt, they will be upset.
especially on a play with no return.
There was no foul on the play. No foul.
No foul.
Steve Shaw waves it off. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Commodores, trying to get on the board. We're under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Back in a moment. Ole Miss leads Vanderbilt 6-0. We're in the first quarter on a gorgeous day in Nashville. Great place to come and spend a weekend. Certainly a lot to do in Nashville. Had a good time last night with some Ole Miss fans. Look at total yards, 130-2. That is correct, folks. An opening 98-yard drive by the Rebels, capped off by a 50-yard touchdown run by Deuce McAllister is our scoring so far. Here's a handoff to McGrath. He runs hard across the 25.
Now, Vandy feels they have got to run the football. They've got to establish the football because Zolman just can't sit back there all day long. Even though their offensive line gave him time last week, he makes good decisions, but they have got to be able to drive.
Score from Thursday night, Mississippi State put a hurting on BYU. We'll see the Bulldogs next week against South Carolina. Today, Rutgers in a battle against Virginia Tech. And it's not going the way of Rutgers, to say the least. McGrath hit at the line of scrimmage. Down, and Shane Elam with the stop.
Well, that's what you want out of your defensive lineman, too. Just like Shane Elam that time, number 59, slides the line. Now he gets into his man, and then what you got to do is you got to close at the point. See right there, slide, bang, come right in there. The big man gets his head in front. Solid football player.
Steve Crosby, the offensive coordinator for Vanderbilt, told us that he wanted to be David Copperfield today.
Yeah.
He was going to pull out all the stops. There is Mr. Crosby. And we'll be seeing what he has in store here on 3rd and 2. They best just get the first down. Zolman has to call a timeout as the play clock is running down. Ole Miss not in sync. They're trying to run the football between the tackles. They felt Auburn did a nice job of that last week against Ole Miss. Coach Crosby felt that maybe the Vanderbilt team could run between the tackles with some success, but so far Ole Miss has been up ready for the task.
Yes, they have. You've got to be able to run the football to set up that pass. It gives you a lot more time when you do that play fake. You just got to be able to run it. Big down here for Vanderbilt. They've got to keep this first down. They were 3 and out in the first drive. They can't come up here and go 3 and out again.
3rd down and 2. The single setback is McGrath. In motion is Carson. Up the middle, first down Commodores. Just hard-nosed football. Vanderbilt won that particular battle.
It was really a great one at the seam. It was right up the middle. It was a trap play in the middle. They kicked them out. Excellent blocking up front. Watch this. Big man on big man, and look at the seam right there. See the cross? Bang! He reads the seam. And give a lot of credit on that one to McGrath. He waited for his trap man to come across. See him come right there? He waits for him and cuts behind the back of him. That's what you've got to do. Heads up play. Interesting call. 3rd down and 2. You hit the heart of Ole Miss right up the middle.
4 carries, 19 yards for McGrath. Ray Perkins now your tailback. In motion is Lou Thomas. Here's Perkins to the outside, across the 35. Probably just got back to the original line of scrimmage.
You know, I say the heart of this Ole Miss defense, and there's one person in the middle really missing. Eddie Strong, number 1. Oh, gosh, what a football player. Kofi gets his first try today, and that's going to be an interesting look today. Chad Cook, he gets his first try today, number 44.
Right now, let's go down to the sidelines and Charles Davis. Charles.
Antoine Bradford, the linebacker for Vanderbilt, came off the field on the last possession when Vandy was in, but he's okay. Trainer says he's fine and should go back into the game.
Thank you, Charles. Jared McGrath back in at running back. Haven't seen Rodney Williams yet. He's been a little slow this week. Zolman up top has his man Stricker. Nice catch. First down, Commodores across midfield.
As pretty as you will see. That's what this one is. Good rush by Ole Miss. The offensive line picks him up. You see they're keeping max protection in there. There's a blitz. He gets caught up in there. Good play, but look at Zolman. Perfect follow through. He's a left-hander. Kind of reminds me a little of that Stabler fan, but again, wonderful lead. Look at Stricker. Get that foot down in bounds. The official comes up, marks the spot. If they can do that, and they can have success with that, they can move the football.
20-yard pickup. Stricker, big game last week. 5 for 121. both career highs. He's averaging 26 yards a catch this year.
Just a sophomore, too.
Here's McGrath, spins right into the heart of that defensive front. Ole Miss read it the whole way. Johnson led the way for the Rebels.
When you look for pressure, and I saw that time Kenny Woods, number 12, coming up on the outside, turned it right back inside where he needed it. Bang! They stopped it on the line. Zolman needs to pull out another one of those tricks. See if he can get a drag across the field. Find Stricker. Carson's been silent.
Yeah, speaking of Elliott Carson, number 80 has certainly been a guy that they saw in game 1. Had big catches against Miami of Ohio in a loss. 7 receptions, 116 yards, but last week only 1. Intercepted by Ole Miss. It bounced around like a pinball and right into the hands of Kevin Thomas. That's Vanderbilt's first turnover of the year. It bounced off Justin Coleman and then right into the hands of Kevin Thomas.
Watch, actually, I think it was tipped. Right there it was tipped. Now look, bang off of him. And how about Coleman? Again.
Coleman's still doing circles down there.
Bang, bang, right up the face. Where'd that thing go? Oh, wow. Well, you know what? If you want to talk about lucky interceptions, think of that one that they had against Tulane in the first game that we did, and now this one.
That was Zolman's first interception in 57 passes dating back to last year. Romero pitches tight end Ziegler across midfield. They told us Doug a little banged up today. 57 consecutive passes without an interception, but you know.
Well, that one there doesn't. I mean, that's an interception, yes, but that's not a quarterback's fault. It's kind of like, you know, it's like the interception at Tulane. That's not a, well, it's an interception, but.
Little end around fake. Miller has time, lost it up in the air, looking for Hurd, but read well, and guess who has the interception? Welcome back, Jimmy Williams.
I don't think that Romero Miller ever saw Jimmy Williams. Jimmy Williams, number 9's the right corner. He looks at Romero Miller. Romero Miller throws this thing up. It brought rain, how high it was. Again, fake right here. He's got nobody in the pattern. He's going to throw it. Look how high he throws it. Way up. Jimmy Williams is back there. He's just backpedaling right to your screen. Look at him. I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. He's the only one that's eligible to catch it.
Davey, he certainly threw into triple coverage, but you got to think that there has something to do with the fact that Ole Miss is throwing into the wind. If you look at the flags to our right, I mean, this, you loft the ball up in the air.
And it gets lost. Exactly.
It comes right back at you.
That's exactly right. Vandy has the wind at their back. They need to take a little bit of advantage of this.
Good run. Pickup of about 9. McGrath, Taylor. There's the wind. Blowing pretty hard right now. And Ole Miss going against that stiff breeze. So throwing that long ball down the field certainly may not be a good idea unless you want to lead your receiver by 15 or 20 yards.
Well, if I've got a quarterback in this situation, Dave, it's really interesting. He's just thrown an interception. He's just messed up his streak, so to speak. I want a quarterback that's going to come back in control, go right back to his offense, challenge the defense. I don't want somebody who's playing scared out there. I don't think Zolman will. Romero Miller certainly won't, but I don't think Zolman will either.
Couple of tight ends in. Zolman throws up over the middle, has the wind. Just overthrew his intended receiver, Dan Stricker. That'll be incomplete. Shotgun for Zolman. Overthrows his intended receiver, M.J. Garrett, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that was an interesting call. He needed about, what, 2 yards, and he went 15 downfield. And I think Zolman realizes it, too. A lot of good protection up front. The big men are sliding them out right there. Just keeping them time. And again, overthrows. You only needed 2 yards. You got to remember you're down in distance. Keep a drive alive.
Zolman 2 of 6 now on the day, 19 yards. He came in completing 60% of his passes and a 23rd ranked passer in the country.
And here comes Ole Miss. They're coming after him.
McAllister's back to return this kick. A chance to return for Deuce. He takes it at the 43. Good coverage by Vanderbilt. Keeps him shy of the 50-yard line. So Deuce not able to get much going on that punt return, but nonetheless, good field position for the Rebels. A punt of 35, a return of 5, and Romero Miller will come back and have another crack at it after the interception which was picked off by Jimmy Williams.
Now, when you're a quarterback and you throw an interception, you just got to have, it's got to be like water off your back. You just have to relax, go back to your offense, just have confidence in your wide receivers. You made a mistake, you tried to force the ball. And for Vanderbilt, they've got to feed on that emotion defensively. They got to come after him.
Joe Gunn is your tailback. They don't use him. They throw to the near side, and that's Omar Rayford. He gets it close to the Vanderbilt 40-yard line. Russian Jones on the stop for the Commodores, and that'll be close to a first down.
When, you know, I looked at Winborn that time, and you know what he does? He comes all the way out there. He's so aggressive. He comes flying on out there. I mean, that's a simple flat pass, and Winborn helps make the tackle. He is Mr. Excitement. They talk, and you know, you talk to Woody Woodenhofer about him, and boy, he says, I put him with the best. He is just Mr. Everything.
That'll do it for the first quarter. And Deuce McAllister, he made the difference on the opening drive of the game, going 50 yards. Ole Miss leads it 6-0. Back in a moment. Ole Miss leads Vanderbilt 6-0. We begin the second quarter of play, and there is legendary Vanderbilt player Bill Wade, who quarterbacked this team back in the late 40s or early 50s and was the best player in the Southeastern Conference in 1951. First and 10 for the Rebels.
Well, we talked to him yesterday. What a wonderful gentleman to talk to. Had a lot of fun. It's fun reminiscing about those days.
Played for the Bears and the Rams, of course.
Number 9 Bears on this license plate. I loved it. Look how he's in. And you know what? He's really into the game. He's not sitting there cheering. He's sitting there analyzing.
Nice gentleman. Nice to meet him yesterday. Second down and 5. Here's Joe Gunn. Joe Gunn to the 25-yard line of Vanderbilt. Lercius on the stop, and good thing Harold was there, or otherwise Joe Gunn might have broken it.
Boy, and Winborn, 42, gets cut off on this play. Watch him right at your screen. He gets cut off right there. You got to come across that block. Oh, that's not. And Bradford, number 41, also gets cut off. Watch this again. You can't get cut off there. You can't miss that play like that and just play across. You got to play across the face of those blocks. Get in the hole.
Nothing doing for Charles Stackhouse. Might have lost a yard. Nate Morrow was there. Here's a look at our Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse first quarter stats.
Boy, look at that yards. Wow. 155 yards. That's a ton.
I really think the steam taken out of Vanderbilt in that first drive. They had him third down and about 5 from about the 5-yard line on the opening drive, and they were able to get the first down and march at 98 yards.
Well, they need to stop here. You just can't allow them to go down and get a touchdown.
McAllister back in the game. They swing it to the outside, and he stopped at the 20-yard line.
Boy, and what a block by Chris Collins, the wide receiver.
Deuce lost his shoe, however.
Chris Collins, the wide receiver. I mean, he's on Jamie Winborn.
Let's go down and check in with Charles.
You guys are talking about the Vanderbilt defense and maybe the steam being taken out of them. Before the last possession, Herb Patero brought them together and said, guys, we have to quit missing tackles. Let's get into the game and get a stop.
Romero, 5 of 8, 51 yards today. Third down and 6. Pressure from the backside. He gets hit, but gets it off to Sanford, who stopped at the 20, well shy of the first down. Good pressure from Vanderbilt.
Man, good heads-up play by Matt Stewart, number 26. I want to tell you something. He may be the best player on this football field so far this year for them. Playing outstanding football at the wide linebacker. And watch him react on this play, number 26. If he doesn't get him, you can see how far he's going. He turns around. He's going upfield.
Both outside backers had a lot to do with that play. Morrow with the pressure from the backside. Stewart with the stop. We'll be back after this message from Advance Auto Parts. Fourth down. Ole Miss from 37 yards out. It's Les Binkley, his first field goal attempt of the season.
Put the mouthpiece in, B42.
Les with a stutter step. He jumped the gun. The kick is off. The kick is up. And it is good. With the wind behind him, Les Binkley hits his first field goal of the year, and now Ole Miss able to stretch their lead to 9-0, and that'll get the applause of their head coach, David Cutcliffe. Ole Miss gets a 37-yard field goal from Les Binkley to build their lead to 9 points. Back to return the kickoff, Jimmy Williams, who's alongside Ray Perkins. Lee Rogers kicks it off with the wind at his back, and it is Jimmy Williams, one of the best return men in the SEC the past couple of years. Gets it out across the 20 and tripped up at 24-yard line. The Ole Miss defense so far, Dave, has been up to the task. They came in here maybe a little depressed after last week, but man, oh man.
Yeah, reacting well to the ball, and especially on a play like this. You see how quickly they got back to it. Great reaction. They're playing solid football in this game so far, as evidenced by no points. Solman unable to get a whole lot going. Look at that, 45 total yards.
This Ole Miss defense ranked 11th, 12th in a number of categories, including scoring, rushing defense. They're 8th in passing defense, but you wouldn't know it today. Rodney Williams gets his first action today at tailback. He gets to the outside, gets tripped up about the 28-yard line. On the stop, Chad Cook and Ken Lucas.
Well, you're looking for things to make, looking for people to make things happen. And I think that's exactly what Woody Woodenhofer and his staff, Steve Crosby, are looking for. They're looking for something to happen, somebody to break a big play. That, of course, Kenyatta Lucas, number 24, the corner. He's one of those ones that won't allow those things to happen.
Lucas coming off a game where he had a career-high 10 total tackles against Auburn.
Oh, boy.
Williams stuffed by Justin Wade right in the middle, and you might recognize the name. Justin, the brother of Todd Wade, who is playing with the Miami Dolphins now and played at Ole Miss last year.
This is the tight end trap. Right there's the tight end trap. Now watch that. Bam. He just comes right up, steps right up. Good football position, down low. Look at Wade react.
Wade, he's got some history now at Ole Miss. His father Luke played there. His grandfather Will played there. And of course, his brother Todd, just mentioned, also played there. Two tight ends on 3rd down and 7. Vanderbilt has struggled on 3rd downs today. They run a little option. And they got some running room. Across the 35, it's Rodney Williams, and that's a 1st down. Justin Coleman on the stop, a gain of 10.
Boy, and I like that run by Williams. I think he just burst through the hole. Watch when he gets to the point of attack. Coming out. Now he's got to make a decision right here. Turn back up inside. Look at this. Now watch right in here. Bang, just gets right back, gets that 1st down yardage. That's what they needed. Lou Thomas coming up on the play, but again, just right there, a burst right in there to get that 1st down yardage. If Vanderbilt can run like that, they'll be happy and keep that man, Steve Crosby, happy.
There's Steve Crosby, the offensive coordinator. A little upset about last week and some of the calls that went against the Commodores. But as he says, you got to line up and play every Saturday. Can't worry about it now. That pass falls incomplete, intended for Stricker. But Dave, take a look at some scores. Virginia Tech all over Rutgers, 35-0. Notre Dame and Purdue. Clemson, Wake Forest just underway in the ACC. Miami of Ohio, who beat this Vanderbilt team in the opener, having success early on. And Illinois also off to a lead in that game. But Dave, where's Elliot Carson?
I know, I haven't seen him. That's what's been amazing. They have totally taken him out of the football game. Number 80 has not been a factor so far.
Lou Thomas in motion. There's the option to the far side. Williams bobbles the football. He wasn't going anywhere anyway. Ole Miss had that red. Ken Lucas right on top of it.
I wondered what happened on this play. It looked as if the quarterback didn't come out clean. Look right here. Maybe he just kind of gets tripped up a little bit. But again, has to concentrate on that football. You got to look it in. And again, once you get that pitch, you've got to look that football in. First thing you got to do is take care of the football. Then you run. No place to run.
Here we go again, Dave. 3rd down. Vanderbilt has been in some long 3rd down situations this afternoon. Zolman back to pass. Across the middle, through the hands of his intended receiver, Ryan Cuffey. And he got whacked.
Well, he got whacked, and he knew he was going to get whacked, but you got to come down with that football. That was a dart. Seneca Taylor, number 23, in on the play. He's the one that broke it up.
Watch the strong, I should say free safety, number 23. He's playing the quarterback's eyes right in the middle of the field. Watch him come up. Pow, right in there. There he is. See him come up? But that's one, you know, a lot of wide receivers, we always talk about not liking going across the middle. That's why they don't like it. Don't throw it high.
McAllister back to return the punt of Joe Webb. But into the wind, the ball dies, and McAllister calls for the fair catch at the 26-yard line, and that is where Ole Miss will take over from there. A punt of 40 yards into the wind, and Romero Miller will take the field again. Ole Miss has had some success moving the football this afternoon, but it was the opening drive and the 50-yard touchdown run by Deuce McAllister that has presented their only touchdown today.
Yeah, nothing would please David Cutcliffe more than to see. Excuse me, I'm spitting on David Cutcliffe.
You're spitting on me.
God, excuse me, buddy. But nothing would please David Cutcliffe more than to see Romero Miller lead this team down a long drive, use a lot of that 9 minutes left.
Straight up in the I formation. Throw a little fade route to the top. Oh, what a catch by Grant Hurd.
Do you know what Hurd did that time? He never looked back for the football. The defender's running with him stride for stride inside. It's Russian Jones, number 11, and Hurd doesn't look back. It's thrown up. He sees the ball now. Just kind of act like a decoy now. Look up and bang. Great concentration to bring that football down in. Jones never knew when the football was going to get there.
A gain of 26.
Oh, man, that was a great one.
Grant Hurd goes 6'3", Dave, against Russian Jones, who's about 6 feet tall. So Grant with a little more size, and it paid off there. First down. To the outside, it's McAllister. He turns the corner to the 30, down to the 27-yard line, and you hear the Deuce crowd. And Deuce got stepped on right after the play, but he picked up 21.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Williams who came in and stepped on him. But for Woody Woodenhofer, there has to be some big concerns. You can't allow him to get the outside, and that's what they do. They get to the outside, they get the corner. You see 93, that's Doyle Crosby. He's caught inside. See Jimmy Williams, they're driving him out, number 9. Now watch again right here on the tail end. You'll see Jimmy Williams come in here. That's Jimmy Williams right there. He's trying to get back to the play.
Jimmy got pushed from behind, it looked like, and tried to get over McAllister, but fell right on the shoulder pad. 7 carries, 88 yards already for Deuce. The pitch. He's got some blocking, picks up another 5 down to the 20.
And Dave, that time there, that was an interesting play because I watched Charles Stackhouse on the play. He's the lead block. He's got to take out Nate Morrow. And that's what Deuce McAllister waited for. He waited for Morrow to get out there. Stackhouse set him up, bang, and he made that little cut back inside for the yardage.
Look at what Deuce has done on the ground today. Dave, you talked about it. 1 carry in the 4th quarter last week. They had to get Deuce the ball more, running the football, and well, they're seeing huge dividends today. Deuce close to the first down as he approaches the 15 with 8 minutes to go.
Well, I go back to my basketball analogy. What do you do with your shooter out front, your point shooter, if he misses the first 4 shots? You don't call him in and say, don't shoot again. You say, keep shooting because I know you shoot 50, 60%. And that's what a Deuce McAllister is. Just keep on feeding him the football. 1 carry in that 4th quarter. You remember what it was. Bang, 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 interception. Bang, 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 interception. I put my stock in that young man.
And Auburn had that 6.5-minute drive that really ate up a lot of the 4th quarter. It's Deuce again on first down. Not much that time. Russ Nicole on the stop. That's 3 for big Russ. Russ 6'5", 310. Coleman, Alabama.
We're going to see Deuce McAllister have 19 carries in the first half here. He is really carrying the football.
Deuce with his 11th career 100-yard rushing games. That is a new Ole Miss record. He surpasses the record set by Dew Innocent, who was a great one in his own right. So 11 100-yard career rushing games for Deuce McAllister.
Oh, here comes an audible on the line.
Miller throws the fade pattern to the corner, but overthrew his intended receiver, Chris Collins. Russian Jones on the coverage. Let's go downstairs once again to Charles Davis, who's working a lot today, by the way.
Glad to be part of the team this week. You always tell me how I disappear. But, guys, the story of the game thus far, the Ole Miss offensive line. Deuce is eating up huge chunks of yardage, but that big front is chopping a hole in the Vanderbilt defense, allowing him that room to run. Kedrick Vincent, you know, Metcalf over at tackle, and, of course, your guy, Charlie Perkins in the middle, all doing a great job.
Ending play there by, of course, Metcalf.
Metcalf, a big one. They got some size up front. They also have a lead, 9-0. Ole Miss takes the timeout. 7:04 to go in the second. Back in a moment. Third down and 8 for the Ole Miss Rebels with 7:04 to go in the second quarter. Another solid drive by this offense led by Romaro Miller, who has an interception today but has utilized his backs extremely well. He and Joe Gunn, Charles Stackhouse, Torrance Sanford all been involved today.
Yeah, a lot of just great play selection, good decisions. That's exactly what you want out of Romaro Miller.
7th play of the drive on third down. It's a rollout. Romaro in trouble. Throws it out of bounds, but he was out of the pocket, so there will be no grounding on the call. He got outside the tackles. Doyle Crosby on the pressure, and that'll bring up 4th down, and here comes Les Binkley.
Well, if you have a bright spot for the defense, it's you hold them to a field goal try, and you keep it at 12. The only thing on Ole Miss's part is that they didn't take enough time to drive the football. They started that drive about 9 minutes. They only took a couple minutes to drive the distance of the field. But good play selection, good call by David Cutcliffe here to go for that 3 points.
30-yard field goal attempt from Les Binkley, who has already hit from 37 today. The wind died down a little bit, but it is at his back if there is some. The kick is up, and it is perfect right down the heart. Binkley, you see why he is one of the best in the business. He's 2 of 2 today, 2 of 2 for 2,000. And Ole Miss is now 12-0 in front of Vanderbilt. Once again, let's head downstairs and check in with Charles.
As the Ole Miss Rebels take a nice lead here in the first half, head coach David Cutcliffe knows a lot about the Heisman Trophy race, having coached Heath Shuler and Peyton Manning at Tennessee. Now he has a legitimate candidate here at Ole Miss in Deuce McAllister.
I wouldn't trade him for a quarterback, for a defensive end, for a corner. I wouldn't trade him for another player in America because he's going to do more things for our team than any one player I've ever been associated with. And Charles, you've been around good, fast athletes. This one is faster. He can run.
Deuce McAllister, one of those guys that David Cutcliffe says can run. And boy, can he do it all. Look at those numbers. #1 in all-purpose yards, rushing touchdowns, and then 100-yard plus games. Well on his way to another one today. And 2,526 rushing yards. #2, chasing K.O. Dotley for first place at Ole Miss in the rushing race. Deuce McAllister, one of the best players ever to pull on the uniform at Ole Miss.
You know, I was thinking of, I have to tell you this, when David Cutcliffe said, now, Charles, you've been around fast players. He is fast. He was saying, Charles, you ain't that fast.
Yeah, you're not that good, Charles. he just about said, you're not good, Charles. You just had Coach David Cutcliffe tell you weren't good.
Or at least not fast.
Yeah, that kickoff sail is through the end zone. That'll bring it out to the 20.
And
there is Nate Morrow. Moved inside some last week, where he actually began his career, and back to the outside now this week. Speaking of outside, Jeremy Graff would rather not go there next time. He gets popped by Sean Johnson, number 40. Sean, another one of these guys we didn't think would see a whole lot. He's been a little hurt.
Well, exactly. Sean Johnson, he comes on just on a dart right here. Watch this. You're going to see him close. Trying to get to the outside. You're going to see, there he is, bang. Just number 40 running right through him.
There's Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss. I need to back up before people get the wrong impression. David Cutcliffe and Charles know each other quite well.
Gosh, he played for him.
Right, I don't want him to think we're just busting on Charles. And here's the option. Zolman out across the 25. I think he might have lost his shoe too.
You know what happened on that play? Zolman just about was ready to pitch it. And all of a sudden he saw that little seam and he just darted back inside of it. And it was a good selection by him, because once he broke through that seam, they had the pitch. He wouldn't have gone anywhere with the pitch. Steve Crosby told us he was going to be a trickster today. He's going to be the David Copperfield of offense. I haven't seen it. I'm waiting to see a lot of those.
It was great talking to him. He was, the David, the guy, the guy.
And we're going, let's see, David Copperfield.
Oh. Rushing yards, 46 for Vanderbilt, 157 for Ole Miss today. First and 10, it's McGrath Anthony Sims with his second stop.
And Dave, the backside is really playing well for Ole Miss today. They're getting great penetration. There's very little cutback. Anytime you're going to cut back, you got one of those backside rushers coming after you. Whether it's a lineman, Scott or Elam or Johnson, you got somebody coming from that backside. You don't have that cutback. They have got to go at the point of attack. Don't look for the cutback, just run hard to the hole. But a big series here. You got 5 minutes left. You haven't done anything on offense. You've had a lot of defensive pressure, and you need to get some points on the board. You don't want to go in with a goose egg.
Tight end Carson in motion. Here's a little reverse. Chris Young, who's got tremendous speed across the 40. And, well, folks, that's a big, big carry for Chris Young, and let me explain to you why. He initially committed to Ole Miss out of high school. And Chris Young, in front of his entire class, was going to go to Alabama, Vanderbilt, or Ole Miss. He walks into this high school arena, and it's filled with Ole Miss fans, and he got somewhat intimidated and scared and told the crowd that he was going to go to Ole Miss. They erupted. He immediately called his mother, said he made a mistake, wanted to come to Vanderbilt, but he was intimidated, so he had to work all that out. Now here he is playing for Vanderbilt as a true freshman. So this is a big game for that young man. McGrath, nowhere to go.
And I can imagine what that was like for him to get up there. He thought it was just going to be a press conference, you know, a few reporters, a couple little newspapers. He came in there and there were like 1,000 people all screaming.
Red and blue pom-poms, and the place went nuts. And that can be an intimidating situation for any athlete. You know that happens across the country during recruiting season, and it's can be somewhat awkward for these high school players.
I'll bet you Woody Woodenhofer's blood, I bet his heart stopped when he said, I'm going to Ole Miss. What?
Zolman goes to the air. A little bump, and there's the flag. Stricker gets bumped as the ball was coming his way. It looked like Senator Taylor on that coverage, and it was.
And you know what? It wasn't going to be complete. It was an overthrown ball.
And I think that's what they're saying over there on the Ole Miss side of the football field.
It was like, wait a minute, hold a second. He wasn't going to catch that football. But he did bump it. We saw that. You saw the reaction by the crowd. Here comes the official word.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That is huge for Vanderbilt.
Well, it keeps the drive alive. Again, watch this crossing pattern right of your screen. Look up. Now see the ball's way over his head. Now see right there is the bump. Again, that ball wasn't going to be caught, I don't believe. But again, look, see right there the bump. Well, maybe
I don't know. It's
closer than what I thought it was.
I think close enough to definitely make it throw a flag on that. Ole Miss might not agree. Ray Perkins in at tailback. They fake to him. Zolman fires across the middle, nearly picked off. Senator Taylor had it read perfectly, and he nearly had an interception.
Boy, Zolman made almost a bad decision there. He zeroed in on his wide receiver the whole time. Just looked at him.
Zolman, 2 of 9 today, 19 yards.
Watch this. He just zeroes right there. He just sees him all the way, and see, watch Taylor react. Bang, he comes right to the football. Goes high. That's exactly what you want to do. You got to go high for that football. You cannot zero in. These defensive backs react so quickly to movement and eye contact, and Taylor right there, number 23, is one of the best.
7th play of the drive. It's their longest drive of the afternoon. 3:42 and counting before halftime. Pressure from the backside. Ball's thrown in the air. Picked off for the second time today by Kevin Thomas to the 40-yard line. Flag is down at the 36, but Zolman didn't see the pressure coming. It came from Derek Burgess in his left end spot.
Yeah, it's going to be a clip on the return. It was a clip against McGrath. McGrath was almost on the tackle, and he got clipped in the back, so it's going to put the ball deeper in Ole Miss's territory. But you're right, Zolman never saw it. That ball just came off his hand. That wasn't even a follow-through. Derek Burgess, number 56, backside, bang.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the return team, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down.
Again, watch this. No, he doesn't never see. See, it's on his backside, and you can see no follow-through. Burgess just stuffs him in the ground. Now, McGrath is 33. You'll see him on the tail end of this.
Ooh, they had some room there.
Oh, they did, certainly did. Now, see McGrath right there, 33, bang, he gets shoved in the back.
Zolman,
Look at Zolman.
A little upset about that, but how about the week and a half it's been for Kevin Thomas? He gets his first career start last week against Auburn, had a career-high 11 tackles. Now he has 2 interceptions today against Ole Miss. To the outside they go. Deuce McAllister picks up the first down and is nailed. As he runs out of bounds, the Ole Miss fans want a flag, but none is thrown. Jonathan Shaw was the man who runs him out of bounds. A pickup of 12.
Well, I can tell you what they're going to do in Vanderbilt's locker room at halftime. They're going to sit down and they're going to say, hey, we're getting beat on the edges. The edges are the outside line. See, there's nobody coming up to force it. Everybody's running after him, trying to bring him down from behind. You're looking at the defensive secondary running, trying to tackle him from behind. You've got to get somebody up in his face. You've got to get somebody to turn it back. Your strength is on the inside. That's where your backers are.
Deuce averaging over 10 yards a carry for a touch for his career, is doing much the same today. Swinging to the outside, intended for Jamie Armstrong, and that falls incomplete. Stops the clock. 3:22 to go before halftime.
And it's an interesting decision time now for David Cutcliffe and his staff. Do you want to drive down the field? Sure. Do you want to use up the clock? Sure. You don't want to give the football back. You've played a marvelous half of football. You want to control the clock. Might go back to Deuce McAllister. Every time he touches the ball, he runs for big yardage.
Second down and 10. Gorgeous afternoon in Nashville at Vanderbilt Stadium. There are tight ends in the game for the Rebels.
I wonder if Deuce missed it that time.
Yeah. Something tells me that might not have been the intended call. Russ Nicole on the stop.
You're not going to take Deuce McAllister and lead him as a lead blocker with Romaro Miller running behind him.
That's exactly what they're talking about right now, just some miscommunication. Rayford brings in the play. And that brings up 3rd down and 7. So here's a chance now for the Commodores to step it up on the defensive side and get one more crack at it before halftime. There's 6 defensive backs in. It's the dime package for Commodores.
You see if they come with pressure. I'd come with pressure. I'd put some pressure on them. I'd make them make a quick decision.
Miller lofts it up to Hurd. Batted in the air. And it's his defensive stop for Vanderbilt. No flags on the play. Rushing Jones in the coverage. This time he got the best of Hurd.
Well, they did come with pressure. They made Romaro Miller make a decision early. Got a little bit of heat on him. You see players coming in on him. He throws it up, trying to use that outstanding leaping ability of Hurd, and Hurd goes up for it, but a good defensive play. That's what you want to do. Pull one of them arms down. Don't allow him to get those arms together. And now, all of a sudden, Vandy's going to get the football back with 2:30 left. They're going to have a little bit of time. Ooh, what a boomer.
Ronald Hatcher on the Reagan King punt. Hatcher, a true freshman with good speed, sees a seam, nearly broke it.
Ooh, wow.
And flag comes in late. A couple of flags come in late.
I wonder if there was a face mask on. I didn't see the face mask. Let's see if we call.
52-yard punt, 21-yard return. We'll see if it holds up.
The flags are thrown right by each other, so whoever saw it, both two people saw whatever happened, but could be a big play for Vandy. Let's listen.
Here's Steve Shaw.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, Vanderbilt. That'll be 15 yards.
Ouch.
It'll be a 1st and 10.
Oh, you can't do that. Well, it's Zolman time. If he's going to step up, he needs to do it now.
Actually, maybe the first intended pass for the tight end Carson, a little bit underthrown. Remember, Carson started the season with a 7-reception, 116-yard performance versus Miami of Ohio. And last week had just 1 catch.
Well, they cover him really well. He gets a lot of attention. A lot of people come after him. You can see Zolman not happy standing back there. He's looking. He's just not into the flow. He needs to find, like Garrett on the outside or maybe a Chris Young on a stream. He just needs to find something that breaks it big.
Zolman 2 of 11, 19 yards, a pair of interceptions.
And they're lucky they're only down 12-zip.
Lou Thomas in motion. Zolman straight back. Fires. Hits Thomas. He's got some room across the 40 right of bounds. Will stop the clock. Justin Coleman in the crowd chants Lou. It's good to see Lou back on the field. A gain of 28. Lou, a big player. 6'2", 210, but very, very strong.
Yeah, and a well-thrown ball. A lot of time. Watch this. Get back in there. His O-line gives him some time. And see when he has time, he can throw over top of the coverage. And bang, he finds Lou Thomas out there. That's the kind of plays that Zolman we see so much of. And that's not what we have seen in this first half. Indecisive throws, not delivering the football, getting hit in the back.
Williams drops the ball and gets hammered on the far side at the 35.
Boy, that's interesting, Dave. They're kind of abandoning what they did well. They threw the football. They threw that deep drag pattern out the line. Now they're coming down the line trying to pitch it. They've had some problems with that before. You've got to just go downfield. You only got a minute and 19 seconds, 18 seconds, clock running down. You want to at least get a field goal try.
Ray Perkins, number 8 in the backfield. Clock ticking, approaching 1 minute.
Boy, not in any hurry. That's really interesting. Not in any hurry.
Zolman rolls out of the pocket, tries to hit Perkins. That play probably wouldn't have gotten much anyway, but it stops the clock nonetheless at 55 seconds.
Boy, how many times have we seen this situation? Third down. Look at Zolman. Now he's starting to talk to his wide outs. You see right there, he's talking to number 24. That's MJ Garrett. He's just a sophomore, and he's saying, hey, you run the pattern as I call it. He's expecting one thing, he's not seeing it, then he's flushed out of the pocket, then he's in trouble, he's on the run.
This is not the offense that we have seen over the past, started coming together last season.
Absolutely, this is just totally non-productive.
Play action, swing it out to Carson, the tight end. He's to the 40, and he's still shy of the original line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 4th down. That's Carson's first catch of the day.
Yeah, this is just a kind of a slide out the flat. See 80 right there, left your screen. Now just dump the ball to him, hope everybody runs deep. Carson's, he's not going to outrun them, but they've got to get downfield more. And interesting, David Cutcliffe calls a timeout here. He knows he's got a good punt return with 40 seconds left. You never know when a Deuce McAllister can break it all the way.
Timeout taken by the Ole Miss Rebels to give Deuce McAllister another shot at a punt return. Deuce already over 100 yards rushing today.
Boy, Deuce McAllister, what a half of football. David Cutcliffe's right. I wouldn't trade him for anybody.
McAllister stands at his 20, takes it at the 22 on a fair catch. 32 seconds to go before we take a break for halftime. A 38-yard punt into the wind. .32 seconds to go before halftime. 1st and 10 Rebels. I'll just hand it off to who else? Some more yards across the
He only got 7 yards on that run. Golly. I'm going to tell you that Vanderbilt has got to regroup, and both on offense and defense. They've got to stop the point of attack inside, but they have got to stop the edges. You've got to get that force up in their face. Woody Woodenhofer, not happy today. Look at him. You can see he doesn't have a headset on. He's just moving along, and he is upset.
Woody not happy. Predicted his team would come out here, would pick up a victory against Ole Miss as they began what he would call the second season and head to a bowl game. But right now, they have dug themselves a pretty big hole. It's 12-0. Deuce McAllister with 121 yards rushing, 17 yards receiving. Pretty impressive performance by the Heisman Trophy candidates. And it is halftime at Vanderbilt. You can bet that Woody Woodenhofer will have a few comments. Let's check in right now with Charles Davis. Charles.
Coach, up 12-0 at the half. How do you feel about your offensive execution thus far?
Well, we've moved the football, and most everything we've done. I was a little disappointed at the end. We'd executed a couple of things a little bit better in the red zone and a couple of things a little bit better in the drive before the last possession. I thought we could have gotten a bigger lead. That concerns you when you maybe feel like you should be ahead more and not at this time.
Coach, I know you weren't too thrilled about the defensive effort in the Auburn game. Do you feel a little bit better about the first half so far?
We've played hard, we've played smart, and we got to continue to do that. It's a 4-quarter game. Vanderbilt's got a fine football team, and we know we had a lead a year ago at halftime. We better come out fighting for our lives in the third quarter.
Thanks a lot, Coach, and good luck in the second half. We appreciate it. Welcome back to the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee, and the campus of Vanderbilt University, where Ole Miss leads the Vanderbilt Commodores 12-0 at the half. And, you know, it's been a finely played first half for Ole Miss. But, guys, I've got to ask one question of you up there. I noticed I talked to David Cutcliffe going into the half, and he seemed happy but not satisfied by the effort of his Ole Miss team. What did you guys think?
Well, Charles, in a nutshell, I think we saw a very balanced offensive attack for this Ole Miss football team. And what we also saw was Deuce McAllister carrying the football. He got plenty of rushes, and it paid huge dividends for him.
Well, I think David Cutcliffe may have a little bit of concern about being only up 12-0. Remember, last year they had a lead at halftime, too, going into that second half of the game.
Well, Deuce McAllister got the football early. Ole Miss got backed up on their own 2-yard line to start the game, and it was capped off this 98-yard drive by this run by Deuce.
Just amazing. I'll tell you one thing, he jogs faster than I run. 4-3, 40-yard dash. And then this interception was just an incredible interception by Ole Miss. Just when you thought that Vandy was going to get a drive, Vandy has not been able to run with any authority. They've not been able to pass with authority. And I think they're lucky to only be down 12-0 at half.
One of the few passes completed by Greg Zollman today, who's just having a nightmare of an afternoon. Zollman 4 of 14 today. As you look at our all-tell halftime stats, overall total yards, 259 to 100. Penalties, not much of a factor today for either one of these teams. They were the two worst penalized teams in the conference coming into this. But the bottom line, though, Dave, is the fact that Ole Miss has just kept Vanderbilt's offense out of sync all day.
Well, they put him in 3rd down and long, and that's a down that you don't want to be in. 3rd down and 12, 13 yards, because then you've got to throw downfield. You're one-dimensional. You need those 3rd and maybe 1, 2, 3 yards every once in a while. Vandy has got to put some drives together. If they don't, it's going to be the rest of the day is going to be long.
Well, let's take a look at your Rose rewind for the second half.
Well, first of all, for Vandy, I should say, excuse me, for Deuce Part 2 is first one. Golly, Part 1 was incredible. And, of course, for Ole Miss, they just need to find a way to score touchdowns and not field goals. For Vandy, hey, find some offense, find some defense, find some way to put points on the board. Absolutely. And play with fire. I don't see the emotion of their coach out there in this first half of football.
Yeah, and Woody, one of the more intense competitors, one of the great defensive minds in all of Southeastern Conference football, and certainly he and his defensive staff will get together, try to figure out what's going on, because Ole Miss has certainly had some success offensively. We have got 2 quarters of football left. Remember, Vandy rallied from a 14-0 deficit a year ago. Do they have it in them this time? We'll find out. Greg Zollman today, just 4 of 14. Charles Davis caught up with Woody Woudenhofer moments ago.
Coach, first half, you're only down 12 despite of a lot of mistakes.
We're fortunate just to be down 12 because Mississippi's really taking it to us. Offensively, we're not executing very well. Defensively, we're not tackling very well. And if you don't tackle Deuce McAllister and those running backs, then you're in for a good whipping. So we made some adjustments at halftime. Hopefully we'll go out and execute a lot better on offense and play a lot harder in defense.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much, Charles. Certainly a not very happy Woody Woudenhofer. Deuce McAllister, though, has to be happy with his first 2 quarters of play. 11 career 100-yard rushing games, passes due innocent for the school's all-time record there, and he's closing in on K.O. Dotley for the school's all-time rushing record.
I saw K.O. a couple weeks ago in the press box, and he said, well, I held on to the record for 50 years. And I turned around and I said, Deuce McAllister, a player like that only comes along once every 50 years.
Well, Ole Miss to kick off, it'll be Lee Rogers.
You know, interesting, Dave. I think Woody Woudenhofer hit the nail on the head. They are lucky only to be down 12-zip.
This kick taken by Williams, and he'll take a knee. Vanderbilt will come out to the 20-yard line to begin this second half. Williams gets knocked across the face mask, and Greg Zollman, he came in completing 60% of his passes. He had a streak of 53 completions without an interception before today. It actually got to 57. But he has 2 interceptions today. Last year against Ole Miss, he threw for 344 yards on 22 of 39. He had a couple of touchdowns. And he opened up the year with a 304-yard performance against Miami of Ohio. So certainly not the kind of day you expect from their quarterback. A sweep to the outside. McGrath, much like the first half, only gains a yard. And here Goethe on the stop for the Rebels along with Derek Burgess.
A player down on the field. I couldn't see who it was. I might have been the outside backer coming up. Couldn't see it. Looks like the force man. Oh, if that's Ken Lucas.
Ooh, that would be a tough break.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Doesn't look like a knee. And Ken Lucas, you know, tremendous speed, perhaps their best cover man.
Yeah, absolutely. Came up on the force, and that's what you call the outside. You call when that backer comes up or that defensive back comes up, you force the play. You force it inside or outside, and that's what he does. He takes the pile on, and the pile ran over him. Let's see if we perhaps can see that. Number 24, left of your screen. Here he comes right up in here. He just kind of gets spun around. Yeah, oh, maybe that one. That's an interesting move. Here, let's see if we see it again. See, plants right there, comes back inside. Oh, and his own player looks as if, yeah. I'm wondering if Derek Burgess was the one who came in and hit him with the back of a helmet. There, he's up. That's a good sign.
Got knocked on the noggin. He seems to be all right.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments Vandy has made at half. Obviously, they got to find Carson a little bit more. I don't think the running game wide is going to make a big factor. They got to run between the tackles.
Desmond Johnson, 31, the sophomore, takes over at that corner spot, departed by Lucas. McGrath dodges a tackle. It gets to the outside to the 30-yard line. That's going to be close to the first down. They will get him across the 30, and that's a first down. McGrath a little bit fired up, trying to bring some emotion to this Vanderbilt offense.
Boy, did you see Gruber, number 64, make the block on the outside of Shane Elam? Hooked him inside, got him. Left of your screen right there. You see the good block right there. Turn him back inside. Oh, that's good. Then McGrath makes a nice decision there to go outside. Got that first down.
The 8th first down of the game for Vanderbilt. Ezzy Hasanalu into the football game as a wide receiver. Handoff goes to McGrath. He stutter steps and dives for a couple.
Well, they've got to use that inside smash. They've got a new middle linebacker in Goethe, number 2. They've got to use that inside smash where they can pick up 4 or 5 yards of the throw.
Anthony Sims hobbling off the field after making that stop, number 32.
Hell, I ain't been hit like that in 3 years.
Yeah, Sims is an interesting defensive tackle, number 32. You know he had to be a linebacker, right?
Sims, most experienced of all their defensive tackles. Zolman spreads out, nowhere to go.
Boy, that's, you know what's amazing
Chad
on that?
Cook brings him down.
What happens on that play, every time that they do a play fake, Cook sits back there and rushes. He comes right on. It's almost like they know that it's play fake and little roll action. Cook is number 44, and now watch, just as soon as he does that little play fake, now watch how quickly Cook, number 44, is in his face. Chad Cook getting his chance to start today. First start for him, and he's taking advantage of it.
Chad Cook, a senior out of Calhoun City, Mississippi. Zolman been knocked down 4 times, but that's his first sack this afternoon. Brings up a long 3rd and 20. This is the same situation they got into in the first half, and it ate him up.
Here comes a blitz. Oh, they give him time.
Over the middle, has his man at the 39-yard line. That's Ryan Cuffey. He's going to be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Justin Coleman on the stop along with Seneca Taylor. And they're going to have to punt it. A gain of 18, they need it 20.
Watch this protection, front line up there. The big guys up front giving them some time. Steps up, they pick up the blitz. Now it's one-on-one. Nice pass. The only problem is it's 18 yards. They needed 19 or 20.
Joe Webb to punt. Joe missed all of last year with a broken knee. Deuce McAllister.
You better get a roll.
And you know what, though? That may not be a bad idea. That takes it inside the 27-yard line. No Deuce McAllister touch on that. And Ole Miss will get their first possession of the second half with 12:07 to go after the 34-yard punt by Mr. Joe Webb. Ole Miss by 12, back after this message from Alltel. Ole Miss leads Vanderbilt 12-0, 12:07 to go in the third quarter. Jamie Winborn the emotional leader on the field, making his first start this year after a 2-game suspension. With 7 tackles, had 141 last year. McAllister gets bottled up, but still able to get 5 yards.
I want to tell you something. I watched Winborn the whole play that time. He comes up, hits his man, stuffs him. McAllister goes to the outside. He comes to the outside. McAllister runs through him like he's arm tackling. And that's not the Jamie. I mean, he can just make you look. There's Winborn, 42. Now, slide, slide, slide. He's got him, right? Watch this. Whoop. He just takes a little step around him. Gosh, can he make people miss. I'll tell you right now, I think David Cutcliffe is right. He's probably the #1 draft choice, if not the #1 in the entire draft.
Nowhere to go. Doyle Crosby, the first of the gold jerseys to get on the spot. Just to reiterate, Deuce McAllister with a 50-yard touchdown to get Ole Miss cranked up after a 98-yard drive. After he let the kickoff in the end zone hit his face mask, and it bounced out to the 2, and that's where Ole Miss recovered it.
That was interesting. I saw Robert Kayat, who's the chancellor at Ole Miss, at halftime, and he says, "What do you think of McAllister?" I said, "Let me tell you something." I said, "He is unbelievable." He says, "Just when you think you got it, he got him. He makes you miss."
Flags are thrown on the far side on a 3rd and 4, which Ole Miss, by the way, has missed on their last 4 opportunities on 3rd down.
I think that was line movement. That's an automatic 5 yards.
And now you got third.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Now you face a 3rd and 9. Charles, what do you got?
Injuries to update you on. Ken Lucas, the fine corner for Ole Miss, hyperextended his left elbow, but he's back in the ball game. And Anthony Sims, the defensive tackle, he hurt an ankle. They're retaping it. They'll see if he can go.
Need to get those defensive stars back on the field if possible. Here we go, 3rd and 9. 10 minutes and 28 seconds to go, 3rd quarter.
Comes the pressure, screenplay.
Flag down. McAllister has some room, but gets whopped by Jamie Winborn. It bounces off him, finally brought down by Crosby and Bradford. But a flag down at the 26.
Yeah, I think Charlie Perkins may get called for that, the center. On a screenplay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get rid of him so quick. Watch Perkins. See Perkins right there. Oh, yeah, he throws him down. Great picture right there. And again, McAllister comes out there. Perkins 67. Look how many different players hit him. And Jamie Winborn, there he is. The eyes, the intent. Look at this. Play back. Now, see the screen. Now, react to it. See, he feels it. Right in there. Now, just get to the play as fast as you can and get in on the tackle. Oh, you need to hold on.
They declined the hold against Perkins because they were short of the 1st down, so they'll be forced to punt. That is Ole Miss. And Jamie Winborn and company finally get a stop, and maybe Vanderbilt gets some decent field position here after this punt.
You know, football players have a feel for this game, and I'm sure Charles was feeling the same thing. You almost get the feel that something's going to happen. Is it going to be a mistake, a big play? Something's going to happen in a football game to change this.
Great punt.
Wow.
The freshman Hatcher fumbles the football. It's loose on the ground. Who's got it? Flag down as well, but it looks like it'll be Vanderbilt football. Flag down at the 28.
Of course, the flag thrown away from the play. Wow, they were lucky they didn't lose that football. That football was loose on the ground.
Hatcher actually held off Jimmy Williams, one of the best return guys in the country.
I know.
But Woody Woodenhofer has so much confidence in his freshman Hatcher that he's continuing to let Hatcher return punts instead of Jimmy Williams. We'll see if he makes any adjustment there. Punt at 51 yards, by the way, Dave. Nice kick.
Beautiful kick. Good coverage, and this is going to tack on.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the receiving team. That penalty will be half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. It'll be 1st down.
Well, Greg Zollman once again put in a tough situation. The ball inside the 10 after Hatcher fumbles the punt. Nonetheless, it's Vanderbilt football. 10:01 to go in the 3rd. Back in a minute. Ole Miss by a dozen as we are 10:01 to play in the 3rd quarter. For Vanderbilt, 7 possessions, 5 punts, a couple of interceptions, and they've had 6 plays for negative yardage. Well, if you're going to get it cranked up, you might as well start now when you're inside your own 10.
Interesting, they brought in Tom Simone, number 84, tight end. He had a big game last time.
On the goal line, the pass to his tight end, Elliott Carson. They went with 2 tights, and they hit Carson. Kenny Woods on the stop, a gain of 21, and that'll help build your confidence.
Exactly. That's what you have to have work well. What they did that time with Simone, 84, is they kept him in and set Carson out. And he's been successful on this pattern. He's caught it twice. That's what Zolman, that's a great pass for him. He throws over the coverage, drops it in there. Look for him to go back when they need yardage, go back to that play.
Because Carson is one of the best in the business, folks. He is one of the best tight ends in the entire country and certainly have a chance to play on Sundays. McGrath trying to get to the outside. He gets popped late. That should be a flag, but they won't call it.
No, I don't think so. I'll tell you why I don't think so. When he spun around, he was still standing up. It's right on the line. You know, that's a tough call. Now, somebody was down. Somebody went down.
Looked like
is that McGrath?
No, it looks like one of the players holding the line, the yardage marker.
Oh, Sticks. Oh, there he is. You're right.
I'd like to see that.
With disagreement up here.
We do. We have a disagreement.
Well, let's be fair about it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but see right here. Now watch when he spins around right here. See, he's right. He's almost, well. Okay, partner.
You can see our guy that holds the sticks over there gets taken down by the pileup. Little play action. Perkins dropped it. Had a chance to pick up a few yards. That's the second time he's dropped one today. Just a true freshman out of Fort Lauderdale. They're really high on him.
Yeah, they are, but what he's got to do is he's got to look the ball in. You remember when he missed that little pitch? You've got to catch it first. You concentrate, do the elements. Again, a little reverse now. Just catch the football. Don't turn around, and look at Zolman. You can see Zolman is having a frustrating day. Now, you can't do that as a quarterback. There's our man. He's back up. Put a little ice on it.
He's probably seen a lot of Vanderbilt football games in his days. He'll be all right. Put a little ice on that. Get back in the game.
There's a blitz.
Zolman goes up top, looking for Ryan Cuffey. Double coverage.
Well, that was that same situation. 3rd and 9. They've seen it all day long. They need to see some 3rd and 2s. But again, Vanderbilt stopped. They're going to have to give the football back up.
The big play on that was a 21-yard strike to Carson, and then after that, it was
all downhill.
Slam the door. Yeah. Joe Webb back to punt. Deuce McAllister back to return.
Well, we're going to see Deuce part 2.
There's a chance. Webb's punt this time much better than the first one. Nice tight spiral. McAllister takes it at the 25. Good coverage by the Commodores on that punt return. And Ole Miss will have a chance to take over from there. A 41-yard punt, a 5-yard return, and here comes Eli Manning. And this is what Coach Cutcliffe had mentioned to us before. Eli to get his chance, first chance of the afternoon. Ole Miss leads by 12. Back after a word from your local stations. Ole Miss by 12 over Vanderbilt. 3rd quarter action from Vanderbilt Stadium on a gorgeous day in Nashville. And there is Eli Manning. Played some in the first game against Tulane, went 1 of 5 for 4 yards. This will be his 2nd appearance. Joe Gunn to the 33-yard line. Not much happening there. Nice play by Jamie Winborn. Now he has 8 tackles unofficially.
Well, I think you're going to see a little bit more relaxed Jamie Winborn in this second half. Number 42, really tight in that first half. Wants to play. It's his first action, and maybe played a little bit tight this second half. That time he ran like he's used to running. Full speed all the time. Great impact player.
The Mannings.
Mom, Dad.
Peyton right in the middle. Of course, the Colts have the weekend off, so Peyton able to check Eli's game out. Under pressure, hits his man across the 40. That's Omar Rayford.
What a nice pass that was. Archie's got to be going, hey, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Now he's going to see pressure from his right. He's going to feel that pressure and bang, delivers a strike in there. They really like his body maturity, so he looks a lot strong. Look at there, not much reaction. Hey.
Yeah, they're going, you got to show me something more than that, Eli.
10,
Those two
12
guys-
yards.
Yeah,
We've done that all. Holy cow, I used to throw 12 yards just for fun.
Here's Eli's handoff to Joe Gunn. He loses a couple of yards.
Boy, nice
Once
play.
again, linebacker stepping up. That time it's Matt Stewart.
Boy, and Stewart got underneath the trap and came around the trap and made the play. Good heads-up play by Stewart.
You look at Eli. In the offseason, he really spent time trying to work on his throwing motion, getting also a lot quicker. His foot speed needed improvement. Coach Cutcliffe feels he's made big strides in that area, and he's still learning the game.
Oh, yeah. You can see it. You can see his body maturity. He's getting a lot more upper body strength. He's going to be really a force. See if they put some heat on him.
McAllister checks back into the game, and they hit him on the far side. Russian Jones holding on for dear life.
Oh, wow. That's exactly what he was doing. Please, somebody get here in a hurry.
Because there was nobody downfield.
This when you read the blitz, you got a hot receiver. Bang, throws it to him right now. Now watch this. This is what you call hold on. Don't let go. Wait till get some help gets there. This is a shoestring tackle, right? Dukes from McAllister, if he breaks out of that, he's gone. Big down here. Third, about 5.5, 6. Eli in that shotgun. Let's see what he does. Comes a blitz. Full power. Here they come. Ooh,
Eli gets hit, throws behind Hurd, the intended receiver. Williams thought he might have had another pick on the play. He's excited about the defensive stand. Pressure came from Justin Giboney on the safety blitz. And a defensive stand for the Commodores, and they'll get the ball back.
And Russian Jones, number 11, might have gotten hurt on the play. Hurt that right hand. The hand was stuck in there. He's coming to the sideline. He's holding his hand. But a heads-up play by the Vandy defense to come up with the ball.
Hatcher back to punt, to return the punt. He fumbled the first one. Across the 20 to the 21. Punt of 42, a return of 12. Brian Yeck with the stop. Russian Jones a little banged up. Jimmy Williams also. Join us next Saturday, 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. South Carolina plays host to Mississippi State. The 2000 Gamecocks are on a roll thanks to the running back of Derek Watson. The Bulldogs are known for their tough, hard-nosed defense, so buckle up as the Gamecocks and the Bulldogs battle in Columbia. It's our game of the week. Watson, by the way, third in the SEC in rushing. He was the SEC Player of the Week after 93 yards and 3 TDs last week in the win over Georgia. And that Bulldog defense last week was sensational against BYU. And Jimmy Williams being tended to on that bench. Dropped by Dan Stricker. He had it at the 35. That would have been plenty for a first down.
And that's the exact same play, exact same pass that Zolman has had success with. They went back to it. That time Stricker just drops it. You got to look this ball in. Got to come down with it. That's a well-thrown ball. Look at that, right in the pocket, just goes right between his hands. Got to come down with that. They need something big to happen. They need to break something. Ole Miss, all they want to do is keep on pouring it on. Big guys up front are playing well. Scott in the middle. We saw Sims earlier get hurt, but again, playing well up front.
Here's a little throwback. Zolman picks it up and is going to run. I thought the ball hit the ground, but they were going to let him play on. And here come the Boo Birds, but it looked like that ball had hit the ground.
Yeah, I thought it did too, but then I saw the official. When I looked at the official, I thought I saw him shake his head, saying, no, it didn't hit the ground. But a trick play, throw back to the quarterback. Let's see if that ball touches the ground right here. Let's see you throw it back. Now watch the ball, tail end right here. Ooh, that's close. The knee might have been down too.
Right, the knee was down on the ground, so that is where they will. Jimmy Williams looking a little tired the first game back. He and Russian Jones, two of the best corners in the league, both walked off the field banged up. We'll see about that next Vandy defensive stand. Right now, Vandy's offense trying to get it going. Stricker, ball thrown just a little bit short. That would have been enough for a first down. Vanderbilt close, but the bottom line is they're just not picking up enough first downs.
Every down has been third down and 10. There's Derek Burgess, 56. Look at this, get around the outside. He's against Carson, the tight end. Nice block right there, but he gets some late pressure. But again, Zolman, drop back. Look at those happy feet.
plenty of time.
Yeah, oh, he's got time. He just has to throw the football in there.
Stricker's got to make that catch, though.
Well, that's 2 of them in a row. He's got to come down with that. I know it's a tough catch. I know you're going down. But, hey, you got to bail out your quarterback when he's not having a great day.
Webb's punts. It is a high punt. McAllister runs to the 50, makes the catch. It would be 48-yard line is where Ole Miss will take over from there. Icehouse congratulates Todd Chastain and Michael Miller from Raleigh, North Carolina for winning with Get the Call. Get the Call is your chance to win great football prizes every Saturday while enjoying the JP Sports Game of the Week. Icehouse, the official beer of JP Sports Broadcast, reminds you to drink responsibly. So get in the game and score big with Get the Call. You must be 21 years or older to participate. Romaro Miller back in the game, a gain of 16 for Deuce McAllister, and there is Jimmy Williams.
You know, that was interesting as I watched Jimmy Williams. 2 great blocks there. Grant Hurd, who you don't think about, number 88, and Jamie Armstrong, number 7. Look at this. They're just blocking him out. There's 88 Hurd. Armstrong, number 7, he gets this block earlier. That's what allowed him to get out there, just kind of 2 little shield blocks. Got to run through them.
Here's Deuce.
Oh, look at that yardage after contact.
Davies just sliding off people.
Well, he got hit on about the 31-yard line, and he comes down, you know, about the 27, 28. Golly, I mean, he makes 3-4 yards after he gets hit. Again, watch where he gets hit. And he's taking Ryan Alds to center right there. You see him in there. He's got an arm in it. Look, he just doesn't go down. Look at that leg. Just keep on churning, digging. They talk about his strength. He bench presses 400 pounds. He runs a 4.340. They ought to put an S on his chest. Superman.
And spent the summer in Costa Rica, I might add.
Yeah.
Deuce picks up a couple, brought down by Antoine Bradford. And Jamie Winborn trying to do what he can to plug up these gaps.
Well, a couple good plays right here. This is what you want to do. Come up, take on that. Now bounce it to the outside. That's Winborn coming up there taking it. That's what he reads so well. Bradford 41 comes, slides across, makes the tackle. That's what you got to keep on playing. But they have got to come up with some offense. They've had problems on defense taking care of Deuce McAllister, but they've got to move the ball when they get the ball back. They're able to hold him to a field goal here.
3rd and 3.
Be a moral victory for their defense.
Oh, he gets hammered from the back. Nate Morrow.
Oh, wow.
Somebody missed an assignment, and Romaro Miller paid the price.
Oh, wow.
Goodness.
That 11 just disappeared. That just disappeared. Oh, man. Again, backside, you never see him, number 40. There he comes, dart inside. Swallows the quarterback.
Loss of 8.
Watch this jar. Boom. I mean, man, that's a blur. Ooh, this is a long field goal here.
This will be from 41, so 51-yard field goal. His career long, 49.
This is a chunk right here. Watch that low trajectory.
Flag is down. He does have a wind at his back, but if this is a 5-yard penalty against Ole Miss, David Cutcliffe might reevaluate.
Well, I wondered if the clock ran out. Yeah, it did. That's what they did. They just took a delay. They're not going to risk it. Delay.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I don't know if David Cutcliffe, he may have wanted that one to come through. You know?
Well, he had the wind at his back, and the wind has certainly picked up. It's got to be 15, 20 miles an hour. So now Ole Miss will have to punt it away. Hatcher and Williams back to return the punt. This thing sails into the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 20. Well, how does Jamie Winborn want to be remembered by his opponents after a game? Here's Mr. Winborn.
Oh, I wanted to be able to say that was one of the best players I ever played against. One of the nastiest, one of the fastest, and one of the most relentless players they've ever played against. I mean, he just keeps going for 4 quarters. No matter if he's winning 42-0 or if he's losing 0-42, he's going to be coming every play, special teams and all.
All right.
He loves the game. 9 tackles today for Jamie, unofficially. Vanderbilt to Stricker. He gets hit, but it's a first down. They've tried that pattern 4 or 5 times. They finally get it to work.
Well, and you know what? He knows he's going to take a hit. He's bailing out his quarterback. He's missed a couple of them. He's got Taylor. He's got Coleman left of your screen. He knows he's going to get hit. Put the ball away, take the hit, and come down with the ball. That's what Stricker has to do for him.
There's Jamie Winburn, 2 games off, said it killed him, would go home at night, would cry, didn't know what to do, didn't know what to think, had to watch the game last week, watched Ahmad Galloway run right up the middle for an 80-yard touchdown, and said that he wouldn't have let that happen. With a handoff to Perkins, the freshman, nowhere to go. Kenny Jackson, the junior from New Orleans, on the stop. There's our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Virginia Tech all over Rutgers, 42-0. That in the 3rd quarter. Notre Dame having a tough one with Purdue.
The spoiler makers.
Clemson all over Wake Forest. Watch out for the Tigers. They're playing pretty good football. Ohio State.
Ohio's still holding in there.
Hanging on. Illinois and Cal in a pretty good one. Wisconsin and Cincinnati. Cincinnati with a big win already this year.
Ouch. Boy,
that off-tackle play hadn't worked today.
Derek Burgess, you know, when you try not to block somebody, in other words, you shade block him, you hope that he comes upfield. Burgess just closes down there. I could hear that thump up here. Number 56, slide the line. Watch this. He's on the outside. Nobody touches him. Right down the line. Pow! And what the difference is when he hits you, he just takes you down. I mean, you're not going forward. 5 tackles. They talked about him being the MVP so far this year. He is on defense. Wow. Here's that same situation, Dave. 3rd and 10.
All day long they've been faced with this. Over the middle, has his man Stricker. Stricker to the 30. Stricker down to the 15-yard line. Justin Coleman misses, and Stricker falls down at the 7. Oh, my goodness. Vandy needed a big play. They got it, and it's Dan Stricker coming off a huge game last week.
2 huge things. You remember the catch he just made in the center when he took the hit? He bailed out his quarterback, and this time he comes back across the center, same play, and he gets a rope thrown to him. I want to tell you, Solman delivered a rope. That ball, watch the trajectory of this football. Straight, watch the follow-through. He has a wham! He just throws that ball in there, hits him on a dart, and it's a brace. Look at right there, thread the needle. You talk about threading the needle, there's a defender right up in his face. Almost comes up with another one there, he just kind of stumbles. Vandy needed a big play. This is it, maybe.
Gain of 58. Stricker now 3 catches, 93 yards. Zolman has time to the end zone. Touchdown, Commodores. They're back in it. It's Nezi Hasanalu, his first touchdown catch of the year. And Vanderbilt now back in the football game, and that may have been what they needed, not just for the team, but for the fans as well.
Yes, it does. It brings the fans back in this game. You just got the feeling that Vanderbilt has been so stifled today. They've had no offense. If they ever broke out, they could get back in this football game. Now for Ole Miss, they need to regroup on the sideline. Well, you got to credit that time, of course, that offensive line giving good time. Zolman got good time on the long one to Stricker. That time, again, a lot of time. Look downfield, find his man.
That point after by Markham is up and good, and it's 12-7 now. But I asked the coaches yesterday what happened to Nezi Hasanalu. I expected big things. They said, well, he just has been battling injury and hadn't really gotten free. He's one of those guys that sometimes gets jammed at the line of scrimmage. But here he is right now making a big play.
Look at the time he has back there. I mean, he's got time to look at, again, the thread. Again, looking at the routes coming off. It's it's like kind of like a slide. You don't want to call it a pick. They just try and so much time. Again, look at the time. Sit back, sit back, sit back. Move in the pocket. A little bit of pressure up front. Just throw the ball so well. Now watch Burgess. 56 Burgess. He had the pressure before. Didn't get pressure this time. You think they're not excited? Wow. That's the first thing the fans have had to cheer about on offense.
Go back to last year. Long way to go in this one. Vandy rallied from a 14-0 deficit. Ended up beating Ole Miss 37-34 for their first road win in the league in 5 years. But Ole Miss, though, overall today, Dave, that's the first time they've given up a big play all day today. They've been pretty consistent.
They played well. They really have. They played well. I go back to where they've been kicking field goals and not scoring touchdowns, and that's a huge factor.
And let's not forget the missed extra point after that first touchdown.
That looms out there, sure does. That changes the whole complexion of the game. But all of a sudden, Vanderbilt's back in here. Now see what the defense does. See if the Vanderbilt's defense comes out and plays with that fire. And on the other side of the field, see what Romaro Miller does.
Williams McAllister back to return the kick. This will be Williams.
Williams at the 16.
Williams out across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And that is where Ole Miss will take over. The announcers for this game are selected and compensated by Jefferson Pilot Sports. This broadcast is a copyright presentation. Any use of this broadcast without the express permission of the Southeastern Conference and Jefferson Pilot Sports is prohibited. Let's see how the addition of one Jamie Winburn and Jimmy Williams, your two leaders in the defense, back with the team. This is the area, the time of the game where your two senior leaders have to step up.
Well, and this is the time of the game when, in that third quarter at Tulane, when Romaro Miller just took control of the game.
Gain of about 4. Armstrong on the reception. Russian Jones on the coverage.
Boy, this is when a Deuce McAllister can help you so much because he does so many different things. Comes off the line, you can put him at a wing, you can put him out as a wide receiver, he can run the football. They need something to happen good for them now. They don't need to give this football up in 3 downs and out.
3 wideouts in the game. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Here comes the blitz. Little play action, roll away from it. Across the middle to the tight end, Doug Ziegler across midfield. Great play call and execution by the Rebs.
Boy, and Romaro Miller gives you a different element of the game. Just when you're going to get a blitz on him, he does that little roll action where he comes back against the grain and he runs out there and gives you that run-pass option and drops it to the tight end. Again, see everybody in tight. Now look right there. You see Stewart in his face, finds his tight end off the line, Ziegler. And again, he just gives you another element to the game. It's not 11 on defense against 10 on offense.
Ziegler had 4 catches against Tulane in the opener. He only had 1 reception all of last year.
Oh, you know what?
A flag down on the line of scrimmage.
Well, Alds was saying that Charlie Perkins flinched the ball. Now, let's see what they call. What happened, it was a hard count. Did Perkins flip the ball? Did he kind of flinch with it? Or was it the defense jumped off sides?
Dead ball, offsides on the defense, contact before the snap, 5-yard penalty,
It's up play.
first down.
It's a play by Perkins. That's what you do on that hard count.
Perkins in there because Ben Claxton, their all-SEC candidate center, broken fibula, could be out for the remainder of the year. Claxton, of course, a freshman All-American, but it's nice to have a redshirt senior you can throw in there as a backup. To the outside, it's Deuce McAllister, first down.
Boy, and Ziegler got a great block on the play. Ziegler's the tight end. He just ran with Nate Morrow. Just kept on running with him. Morrow giving up ground.
Deuce still down on the ground on the far side over there.
We don't want to see that. Nobody wants to see that. There's Nate Morrow, number 40. He's got to come up and attack that tight end. Ziegler's 6'4", about 250 pounds. You got to come up and take a firm stand. You just can't keep on giving. Let's see if we see the tail end of the play. What happened to Deuce McAllister here? Oh, you know what? You know what he did? He hit that covering on the sideline and slipped.
That'll do it for the third quarter. Back in a moment.
SEC football is being brought to you in part by Bank of America, proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team for 2000 and beyond.
There's our line score today, 12-7. Ole Miss on top. They scored a touchdown on their opening drive that went 98 yards, and there is Deuce, and it appears they might be taking off his shoulder pads. He may have hurt his shoulder. Now, he missed a game last year against Arkansas State because of a shoulder injury as well, so he had some problems in that area before.
Yeah, I thought I saw him reach up inside that shoulder pad, like that right shoulder.
Dead ball, false start on the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, first down.
You see that right shoulder right there? That's what they're doing. They're trying to stretch it out. Again, stretch out the left shoulder. Left shoulder. But if he's able to raise it up like that, and you know what? He really strengthened himself this year. I mean, he came in, you talk about strong. He put on weight, and he picked up speed.
Miller under pressure. That pass is going nowhere to Stackhouse. Tackled by who guess? You guess. Number 42. Loss of 4.
That was an interesting play. What they did that time, Jamie Winborn on that dead run. He's playing just a lot easier. Watch 42. Once he sees the commitment, he's got him. You ain't going anywhere. 10th tackle of the game. And that's just an average day for him. Look at that. You ain't going anywhere.
A passionate football player with 10 tackles. 2nd down and 20 now. Play action. Miller under pressure. He goes down. Nate Morrow leads the charge. His 2nd sack of the day. That'll be a big loss. That'll take Ole Miss back into their side of the football field.
When you start looking at this series, they had 1st down on the 34-yard line. Now they're back at midfield on their own side. But Nate Morrow gets the pressure in there. Good coverage down there. How about watch Jamie Winborn, number 42. Hello, Joe Gunn. Get out of my way.
A little excitement in the air in Nashville. The Commodores trying to stop Ole Miss. Ole Miss with only 73 total yards in the 3rd quarter after a 259-yard first half. There's Joe Gunn. They just ran a play up the middle. And Ole Miss will have to punt it away. Ryan Ald's on the stop.
Well, this is a very talented Ole Miss team. And right now, with their leader on the sideline, Deuce McAllister, it's a different team. You have to make those adjustments. They did it last year when Deuce McAllister was out, and they used a lot of Joe Gunn. But right now, Vanderbilt's getting some momentum. And that's not what you want to see if you're an Ole Miss fan.
Hatcher back to return the punt. Has a chance. It's a line drive. He comes up flying and fumbles the football. It's loose. Vanderbilt recovers at the 28, but Hatcher got popped.
Well, I can't believe he ran like that. I mean, he ran from 20 yards back. He was not going to let it hit the ground, and he took his eyes off it. Went right off his belly. Watch this. He's running from 20 yards back. You got to make sure. And look how quick. Coverage is right in his face. Woo! Golly, they were lucky to come away with that one. Again, look at him look down right there. He's going to get stuck.
Well, it's Chris Collins who put the hit on him. The fumble recovery by Mike Martin. But bottom line is Vanderbilt has it. 1st and 10. 12:51 to go. 4th quarter from Nashville. McGrath keeps his legs moving. Still moving out near the 30. Both these teams in the desperate need of a win are coming off losses in the conference.
And I can see concern right there. Art Kaufman, concerned. He's got to be concerned. Look at the yardage starting to mount up a little bit. McAllister had a lot of yards in the first half. He hadn't had many. And again, the defense playing well right there. Winborn, he's leading the crowd.
The biggest concern, I think, for Vanderbilt is to avoid 3rd and long situations. They're 3 of 10 on 3rd down conversions today, and they want to stay away from those 3rd and longs. Right now, it's 2nd and 3. After a hard 7-yard run by this man, McGrath, he spins around, still fighting. Wow, he might have got the 1st down.
I like that. I like him. You know, he came up yesterday and ran out there and shook my hand, said thanks for those comments last week. But he ran through 2 tackles, but he made him miss. McGrath's a hard runner. Now watch this. He's churning. He's digging. Right there, he's going to go down, right? No, he stretches. Look at that. Even on the tail end, he's reaching for that 1st down, and he gets it.
McGrath, 9th all-time in career rushing at Vanderbilt. But he's gotten off to somewhat of a slow start. He's averaging just about 2 yards a carry this year. But today, he's picked it up a little bit, 49 tough yards. Against a defense today that's played somewhat inspired football for Ole Miss.
Oh, they have. When you take out the middle linebacker, Eddie Strong, and I mean, you're talking about a huge loss and how they would react to that.
Zolman going deep. Just out of the hands of Dan Stricker, and he had his man beat, Justin Coleman. That could have been 6.
Oh, and you can see it on Zolman. When a quarterback turns around and puts those hands up on his hips, he knows he's read it wrong. He's thrown a poor pass. But Stricker had him straight down the middle on a post pattern. Look at this. He's got him by 3 yards. One thing you don't want to do is overthrow him.
Oh,
look at this. He's got him by 3 yards. Don't overthrow him. Look at that yardage difference in the second half. That one long drive. Ole Miss has not been able to get cranked up in the second half.
Coleman now 9 of 24 today. On second down, the running option. It's Perkins to the outside. Played well by Coleman. Coleman runs him out of bounds for his 5th stop, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and roughly 4, maybe 5 yards.
And you know, one thing I was really pleased to see, and I think David Cutcliffe and his staff are pleased to see, is the recovery they made from Auburn. They lost a very emotional game, and they have come back and played hard.
Tim Mullins, the Ole Miss trainer, tells me that Deuce McAllister has a bruise of the AC joint of his right shoulder. He will be out the rest of the game. Ole Miss has an open week next week, but they'll expect him back for their next game after that.
That could be a tough break in a tight game like this, but it's nice to know you got Joe Gunn back there. Here's a little option to Perkins. Sidesteps a man and gets the 1st down.
Boy, did he sidestep him. You talk about a nice play. He really played hard off the block of Stricker, 85. It's a little bit of a pile out there. It's going to go to your right. Watch this right in here. Right there. See Stricker get that little block. Just step back in, pick up that 1st down, keep the drive alive. And the difference is they're picking up yardage on 1st and 2nd down and not coming up with Dave with that 3rd and 15, 16-yard play.
Well, 1st and 10, a little over 11 minutes to go. Little inside pitch to Perkins. Read well by Ole Miss. Maybe lost a yard.
I was just thinking that maybe David Copperfield or Steve Crosby, as we know him, maybe he was waiting to hold him for the second half.
You see Deuce McAllister. He had a tremendous first half. He's coming off a 257 total yard offensive output against Auburn. Today he's up over 200 again, and looks like Deuce a little bit of pain over there. Freaky play. Just hurts his shoulder. And there's Steve Crosby trying to figure out how he can pick up some yards. Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator at Ole Miss.
He's trying to figure out how do you stop him.
Swing it out to Perkins, tries to use his speed, does so, cuts it back inside. Another 1st down and into Ole Miss territory at about the 41-yard line.
It looked like Perkins got hit in the back and shoved for the 1st down. Now what Ole Miss was saying is, hey, he wasn't down, we pulled the football out. But Perkins comes on a little swing pass out in the flat here. Look, quick throw to him. Now watch the tail end of this. He gets hit in the back. Might be Hamilton hit him in the back right there. Boom, now he just goes rolling on forward.
You just gotta love SEC football.
Oh, geez.
Saturday afternoon, we got a 12-7 ball game. Vanderbilt moving the football down the field. First and 10, Zolman under center. McGrath your tailback, Thomas in motion. Little throwback to Thomas.
Wow, another play, interesting. Look at this.
Luke slips a couple of guys to the 35. Luke could have been stopped for a loss of a few yards, but a second effort picks up 4 or 5 yards.
And they are pulling all the stops out. That's a play action to the weak side, come back, throw a little slip screen. He breaks a couple tackles. Kevin Thomas misses one. Steve Crosby, he's pulling them out here. That's a call to the signal in. David Cutcliffe saying, hey, we need to come up with a stand. You know, you go back to things that changed the complexion of a game, that missed extra point, a couple times that they had to settle for field goals.
Second down 5, Thomas in motion again.
Oh, a lot of time.
Has time. Steps in the pocket. Throws looking for Stricker. Out of his hands. Flag is down. Justin Coleman was holding Stricker. Those two have been battling for nearly this entire football game, and this time Coleman gets thrown for a flag.
Boy, and a lot of time by Zolman to sit back there and look downfield. His offensive line giving him a lot of time. We'll see what the call is, but for sure it's interference.
Pass interference on the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot.
And you know, you can't fault the defensive back on that because you can only cover so long. But look at the pocket. Look at the time. Look at the pass. And right in there's the hold. He was losing him a little bit. And you know what? That may not be a bad play because, again, right in there, he's stumbling a little bit. Hey.
If he doesn't grab him,
exactly.
It's 6.
That's exactly what I say. It may be a good penalty because it was right off his fingertips. If Stricker doesn't stumble, he may get the touchdown.
Stricker having a nice day today. Had a good one last week. 5 catches, a career high for him.
Boy, you get a feeling the tempo has really changed in this football game.
To the end zone again. This time over the head of Stricker. And I tell you, if you keep an eye on Stricker over there, 85, he is sucking some wind, folks.
Yeah. Did you see him right at the tail end of that? Just bend down
that's
there.
it for me.
He's tired. He's got the mouthpiece out, and Steve Crosby's turned around, the offensive coordinator, saying, hey, just give me one more play.
Well, that's exactly what he talked about with us, that they don't have the depth and consistency at receiver, so when you find a consistent guy, you got to go with him.
Oh,
Let's go downstairs to Charles Davis.
And what they need right now, guys, is a guy who can come out there and make a play. They're going at Justin Coleman. That's where all the big plays have happened. The corner for Ole Miss. That's who Stricker beat for the big one before. That's who he beat on the interference.
2nd down and 10. Little option. The pitch. McGrath picks it up off a bounce, but nowhere to go. That was a dangerous play.
Ooh. Now, Art Kaufman loved that. You see him there, defense coordinator. He turned around and look at this. You see Stricker? Shades of Kevin Winslow. You remember that game, Kevin Winslow, San Diego Chargers, just exhaustion. But this is dangerous. Oh, man, you don't throw it out there like that. You don't bounce it to him. How about McGrath? I mean, he's not going down. Tell you, he's not going down. But, hey, here comes number 85 back in.
3 catches, 93 yards, 5 for 121 last week.
Well, they got to hurry.
Clock running down. Vanderbilt trying to get a timeout. Zolman not happy. The coaching staff going crazy down there trying to get a timeout. Finally do. You better be careful with 7:54 to go in the game, and you're down on the 20-yard line. We got a good one in Nashville, folks. Stay with us. Ole Miss leading barely, 12-7 in the 4th quarter. Vanderbilt, 3rd down and 10 from the Ole Miss 20. It's the 10th play of the drive. From the backside, Zolman is whacked, loose football. Who's got it? The Rebels have it.
Wow.
Johnson came from the backside.
And Burgess, too. Burgess coming hard from the backside. Zolman never saw it. Never saw. Backside of the play was Gruber. Gruber's down on the field. He's hurt, but watch this. Look at Burgess. Pow! Boy, oh boy, does he come through. Again, great rush, great speed. When you need it, their MVP stood up. That's number 56. What a change in the game.
Derek Burgess with a big hit. Burgess playing extremely well defensively this afternoon, and there's another guy who has played big defensively his entire career. Jamie Winburn. Now the Vandy defense has to step up with 7:46. Gain of about 5 or 6 for Joe Gunn. Keep in mind that there is no Deuce McAllister back in the backfield with a bum shoulder. Will not return to the football game. That's Jonathan Schaub, the safety. He looks like he's a little bit hurt as well. Take a look at our Pizza Hut scoreboard. Virginia Tech,
wow,
big in the 4th. That's in the 3rd.
Clemson's for real.
Illinois over Cal, 17-9 in the 4th. Wisconsin is losing now to Cincinnati. Watch out for the Bearcats. Well, there's Jonathan Schaub. Jonathan had shoulder surgery back in December. Came back from that. He's a guy that, one of those guys, rare people in life that you will ever meet that scored a 1,600 on his SAT.
Perfect. I could not believe that when I read that. He was perfect on his SATs. Not close, perfect.
While we're speaking about some Vanderbilt players, it's time to note that freshman linebacker Luke Hammond, who fell 9 stories in a dormitory elevator shaft on August 28th, was released from the hospital last week, returned to his home in Alabama. He spent 5 days in intensive care in the Vanderbilt hospital with internal injuries. He fell out of the elevator while trying to climb out of it, and it was overcrowded. After the emergency system had stopped between the 9th and 10th floors, he hopes to be back to watch this team play in a few weeks when Vanderbilt takes on Duke, and we certainly wish him well. We know he's at home watching. And hopes to be back, possibly playing football in the spring, believe it or not. Joe Gunn, nowhere to go. Dave, I'll give you one guess who that might have been.
Jamie Winborn. Who else? That's what's been all day. I watched Russ Nicole, number 73. He played well on that play. Took the up back, kind of took the pressure off of Jamie Winborn, let him slide. Big down here. If you're Woody Woodenhofer, your defense has got a 3rd and about 5. You want to come in there, you want to make a stop, get it back, but your offense had moved it. If you're Romero Miller and company and Ole Miss, you're saying, hey, all we need is 5 yards, but hey, we don't have Deuce McAllister.
5-man defensive front. Cornerbacks are up tight on the receivers. Pass. Dropped it. They say it's incomplete.
Ooh,
Vanderbilt last week got robbed, blatantly robbed on a play when Freddie Millens fumbled. And they said he hit the ground first, but this time it will be called no incomplete pass. Grant Hurd was the intended receiver. Jimmy Williams on the coverage.
Boy, that's exactly what you want to do. Pull his arms down. Don't let him bring the ball in, and that's what Williams does. He pulls his arms down, pulls them apart. He drops the football. All of a sudden, Vanderbilt's going to get the ball again.
That was a good call by the officials. It was an incomplete pass. Here's Hatcher to the 35, to the 36 before he's taken down. Ole Miss has now punted on their last 6 consecutive drives. It's 12-7. We're in the 4th quarter. 6:17 to play. Vanderbilt running out of chances. Well, this game's a far cry from the one they played in 1915 when Vanderbilt beat Ole Miss 91-0.
Where'd you come up with that?
12-7.
Wow. That's all right. That gets a wow.
What a game. That's all I want. Ray Perkins breaks a couple of tackles. Picks up about 6, maybe 7 on the carry.
Boy, there's the difference. First down, picking up 5-6 yards. Not picking up that, no yardage. Bring up that long situation.
Let's go downstairs to Charles.
Brian Gruber, who hurt his knee on the last possession for Vanderbilt, their best offensive lineman, has gone back into the game. And Jonathan Schaub, the defensive back, appears to have had his bell rung, and they're still checking him on the Vanderbilt bench.
Charles working a little overtime today. He's been active. Good boy, Charles. And off to Perkins, tries to get outside, gets a block. Perkins cuts it back to the middle of the field, down to the 40-yard line, first down, and then some. Vandy into Ole Miss territory.
And did you see the block on the outside? I think it was Carson. He just smothered him on the outside. Carson gets out front. He's going to lead him. Watch number 80 on the outside. He gets now, watch him come out there, now watch, just smother him. Woom, just go, golly. That's what broke Perkins. He just got Kenny Woods. Kenny Woods just disappeared.
A gain of 17. Vanderbilt is...
Oh, it's a different half. And when they don't have Deuce McAllister for Ole Miss, it's a different offense.
5-10 and counting. Thomas in motion. Zolman back to pass. Has some protection. Nearly picked off. Seneca Taylor, you see why he's a Thorpe Award candidate. He's been all over the field today. That pass was intended for Stricker.
There's a point in a pass play when that defensive back either is going to do a coverage or go for an interception. Taylor plants, and watch number 23 come diving in here. Look at this. Boom, he almost comes in, takes that ball away. And again, you see him step in front of the receiver. Great play, Seneca Taylor. He should hit his hands down. He was close to picking up another one. Just plays the eyes of the quarterback so well. You just got to look him off.
13 of 30, 195 yards. Zolman getting back into a little bit of a groove, had a horrendous first half. Zolman under pressure, throws it up in the air, throws it out of bounds. That'll be incomplete with just under 5 to go. Pressure coming from Josh Cooper, the redshirt freshman out of Marietta, Georgia.
Boy, and Cooper didn't give him time to sit back there and look downfield. Cooper just was coming flat out on him. They need to pull one of those magic tricks of Steve Crosby right now. For Art Kaufman and staff, they're coming up with a big play. when they needed it most, they got it out of Derek Burgess last series.
Well, here we go again, Dave. They had 3rd and 10 the last possession. Burgess with a sack caused a fumble. Now they're 3rd and 10 again. This time they're at the 40. 3 wideouts in the game.
Watch Stricker.
Over the middle to the tight end, Carson. Or excuse me, that's Stricker. Good call, Dave, as it goes to 85. He's shy of the first down around the 34-yard line. Coleman holds on for dear life. Now what do you do?
Oh, that's exactly what do you do. If he kicks a field goal, all right, Stricker's going to come. Little crossing pattern right here. Driving deep, come underneath. Stricker almost gets out of this. Watch this. Hold on. Some of the great tackles are made by holding on to shirts. That's exactly what they did. Now, do you go for it? You've got 4:27. If you go for it, you've got a field goal possibility. If you go for the field goal, then it's 12-10. You got to get the ball back. I think they just decide they're going to go for it right now.
4th down and 3. It would have been a 50-yard field goal. The option, McGrath gets it inside, gets the first down, and gets tagged, but he gets the chains a-moving.
Oh, wow. You talk about going up. You talk about desire. He's got Coleman 21, Taylor coming in on him, and McGrath just goes up and over. He's not the fastest. He's not the strongest, but you play with your heart in this game. Look at that.
I got another word, crazy.
Oh, man, I love it. You know, he can come out and talk to me tomorrow. That's just a great play.
Yeah.
Look at him.
McGrath, 55 yards on 16 carries. Stricker, 4 catches for 100 yards. Back-to-back games for Dan, over 100. Carson, the tight end. Well read by the Ole Miss defense. A gain of maybe 1. Chad Cook, the initial defender on the play.
Now, this is where greatness rises up. Last series, Ole Miss got a great play by Derek Burgess. They need someone else to step up. Who will it be? Shane Elam, maybe Seneca Taylor on that, watching the quarterback eyes. They've got to go. They've committed now. They've got to go for 7 points. It's 4 downs all the way. Less than 3.5 minutes left. It's all on the shoulders of Greg Zollman.
Reminiscent of a game a year ago in Oxford, Mississippi. Except this time with a score 12-7, the chances of us going to overtime are pretty slim, and Zollman has to take a timeout. David Cutcliffe trying to figure it out, but his team's still in front. We are back. Stricker, flag down, fumble, loose ball. Seneca Taylor at the 40. Taylor across midfield, knocked out of bounds. We have a flag down in the middle of the field. However, let's wait and see what it is. And Chad Cook, 44, is a little banged up, leaving the football field.
Boy, now is it holding on the offense, holding on the defense?
Before the change of possession, holding on the offense. That penalty is declined.
Holding on the offense.
Down, Ole Miss.
And Chad Cook got his bell rung. He was standing up and just flat out fell over at the end of that play.
Boy, huge turnaround right here. Again, watch Lucas come in here. He's going to hit him right from the back, rake the arms down. Great tackle, pull it down. Taylor comes up and pulls it back, and now he's just running. The hold was on the back side of the play.
There's Greg Zollman's parents.
You live and die with these kids, and that's one that you die on. And look at Zollman. What happened? He didn't see the tail end of it.
Good thing he got up, made the play, or Taylor would have scored the other way. We'll check on Chad Cook in a minute, but nonetheless, Ole Miss 1st down and 10. Joe Gunn, no gain. Only 1 timeout remaining for Vanderbilt now. They had to use one early in the second half. You saw Deuce McAllister without his shoulder pads. Here's the handoff. Joe Gunn.
Now use your timeout right now.
That'll bring up 3rd and long. Timeout. Vandy coach is trying to get it. Nobody's calling it. Coach is going crazy over there. Finally get it.
I got to tell you, when I saw Deuce McAllister stand there with the arm, I've had an AC separation. That's collarbone. It's way up in the top of the shoulder. It's a really painful thing to come back from. Hopefully there's no separation or anything like that. Severe bruise. He's got a week off. He can get well. I know that a lot of Ole Miss fans are concerned because this offense shut down after he left.
Right. Burgess was the guy who almost made the sack on the touchdown pass in overtime last year to Zolman. This year he got this.
Look at the nose there. That's what happens. Now let me tell you what happens there. You put cotton up it. That may be a broken nose. Tough kid.
Vanderbilt came into this game, Dave, with no turnovers this season. 4 today, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. Their last 2 drives ended in turnovers, and actually ended in fumbles. Inside Ole Miss territory. That's just self-destruction. You know, you can't afford the turnovers.
Well, they were forced turnovers. Let's give the defensive credit. Great tackles, good play, heads up.
Now it's time to take a look at our BMW Ultimate Drive of the game, brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. 10-play, 98-yard drive, capped off by a 50-yard touchdown run by Deuce McAllister. He accounted for 80 of the 98 yards on 7 touches in that drive. And Ole Miss has been holding on, clinging to a lead since then. It's 12-7. 3rd down and 8. So Vanderbilt will get the stop. It'll force the hand of Ole Miss. Russ Nicole on the stop. And from the 34-yard line, do you want to risk the field goal?
No, don't risk the field goal. Just run another play. If you want to pooch it, go ahead and pooch it, but don't risk it.
And make him go 80.
Yeah, make him go 80. And there'll be probably about a minute 10, minute 15 left. And look at everybody hustling to get off the field. They thought at the last second, they thought they might be kicking a field goal.
1:15, Vanderbilt with no timeouts remaining.
Oh, great punt high in the corner. Oh, what a punt.
Unbelievable punt from Reagan King. It goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line. It was only a 32-yard punt, but it doesn't get much better than that.
That was beautiful.
That's his 5th punt inside the 20 this year.
This is perfect. You look for that coffin corner. Look at the official. Right about there.
And even he's thinking, hey, that's pretty good. No timeouts, 1:05 left.
You got to throw sideline patterns, or you got to break a big one. Now, if you're Ole Miss, you go into a little bit of a prevent. But you got a great one back there in Seneca Taylor playing center field. Reads the quarterback's eyes real well.
And this is where a guy like Derek Burgess loves to play. Long pass down the sidelines. Pass intended for M.J. Garrett. And really a lack of speed on the outside could cost Vandy in a situation like this. They need some more. They're looking for more speed there.
Well, I think I'd go back to Stricker's side. He's one-on-one. He's got Coleman out there. We talked about the size difference a little bit, 6'3", 6'4" against 5'10", 5'11". That's who I'd go for. I don't know if he's got enough gas to run me one more long one if I'm Coach Woody Woodenhofer and his staff. But don't think that Justin Coleman standing out there on an Oasis doesn't know it. Top of your screen. Coleman's getting a lot of yards.
Wide open is Stricker. Goes out of bounds at the 19 with 54 seconds. A gain of 17. Move the sticks.
Let me tell you what Coleman did. He dropped back about 10, 15 yards. He said, if you're going to catch it, you're going to catch it in front of me. Now watch for the hitch and go. Don't let Coleman, and I'm sure their coaching staff is saying, don't bite on the fake. Don't bite on that little curl and go. There's Art Kaufman. He's a great one at it. Remind him, don't bite and go. Look at him.
Greg Zolman's parents watching their son. Jamie Byron points out directions from this center spot. Caught by Garrett to the 35, brought down by Ken Lucas. Now there's some operating room. Clock stops because of the first down.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say the clock stops until they get it set. Now get up on the ball. You know, don't huddle. Good Lord, don't do that. Clock still stopped at 47. Now it starts back up. They got to move the chains about every time.
Carson wasn't looking. That'll stop the clock. 2nd down, no damage done there.
Well, it's time to go to Stricker. Try, if you're going to go long, try to get that matchup where maybe you find the defensive corner. But you know that Seneca Taylor's going to be shedding that way because he knows that that's been a favorite target today. This is going to be, there he is, number 85, if they're going to make it.
He's going to be the one.
Williams stays in the backfield to block number 2. Slides out of the backfield, but the pass over the middle. Caught by Stricker. That's a first down. Stop the clock. Coleman on the stop there. That's a gain of 19, and Stricker having a career day, and I mean literally a career day, 7 catches, up over 130 yards now.
Well, you can see the cushion that Coleman's giving them. He's giving them a lot of cushion because they've got to play perfect plays. Now the clock starts. You're under 30 seconds. Again, if you don't move the chains, you've got to call that timeout. Go with it.
Throws it up in the air. It's up for grabs. Who's got it? Stricker had a hand on it at the 4. Coleman bats it away.
Nice play by
18
Coleman.
seconds.
Nice play by Coleman. He said, hey, I'm going up for the football. I think Coleman was the one who got the hand on it. He's playing deep. He's playing almost a safety position. You're going to catch it. And look at Coleman. Go high at the point of attack. That's what you teach. Nice play by Coleman. Going up there, knocking the ball away. Don't try to intercept it. Just try to knock it away. Look at Art Kaufman. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yes. That's when the putt doesn't go in, right?
You know, we're talking about Stricker out of breath. You know, Justin Coleman's been running his tail off today, too.
Look at him. You think he's exhausted?
Here we go. Second down and 10, 18 seconds. To the outside. Everett Robinson down to the 33-yard line. Stop the clock.
12 seconds left.
So they can get possibly 2 throws in the end zone.
Well, you can still get down inside the 10-yard line. You've got 12 seconds, and then you got 1 or 2 shots inside. That's going to be tough, though. 12 seconds. Boy, and you know what you do now if you're a coach? You're turning around, you're saying, gosh, remember where we wasted some of that time earlier? Nice heads-up play to get out of bounds. It would have stopped the clock anyway, but now they get a little bit of time to huddle, take the time, come up there. I think you're just about ready to go to the end zone. You have that one timeout in case you catch it short.
No timeouts. No timeouts.
You're right. None left. I forgot that.
Throws it out of bounds. There's 8 seconds left. Possibly 2 plays. You got to go to the end zone.
Yeah, this is the one where you have to go to the end zone. 8 seconds. It's going to take you about 4 seconds to get down into the end zone unless you get somebody that stumbles or falls. And you watch the play of the 2 safeties, Kenny Woods, number 12, and Seneca Taylor. They're going to be standing way back. They're going to be playing deep. And right now, David Cutcliffe and his staff are saying, hey, if you're going to let them catch it in front of you.
Zolman came in completing 60% of his passes. He would trade all the numbers in for 1 TD strike right here with 8 seconds. To the end zone. It's up in the air looking for Stricker. Out of the end zone. 1 second remaining.
He's got another chance.
1 second on the clock.
And you see who kind of meandered over there? Seneca Taylor. He said, hey, we know where you're going. Taylor's that free safety. He can roam from side to side. And I can tell you that David Cutcliffe and his staff have said, hey, if you're going to roam the side to side, and if I'm Woody Woodenhofer, I'm going right back. I'm going to say, hey, take a deep breath, number 85. I'm throwing it to you.
You saw Greg Zolman's parents, now Woody Woodenhofer. 3 up top, 3 receivers up top. Last play of the game. To the end zone. Out of the end zone, ball game. Ole Miss hangs on. But barely. And the Rebels get their first win in league play in 2000. And the Commodores ran out of gas.